السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما بحرمة اللهم فصل وسلم وبارك على هذا النبي الكريم سيد سند العظيم ذو القلب الرحيم سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
Amen. Shukran, Imam Diallo. Bishop, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Most gracious and eternal Father, the Lord of all creation, the preserver, the sustainer and the protector of all your creation throughout the whole wide world, we continue to call upon your divine mercy, your divine grace, your divine goodness, and your divine generosity and love over every humankind. We continue to submit the sitting of the TRRC to you. We submit all the witnesses that will come before this commission. And we do ask of your goodness that you shall grant them the boldness to be able to speak the truth, and also grant the commission the discerning spirit to discern between truth and falsehood, and also grants the population and the diaspora and the international community as well, that each and every one of them will exercise patience and allow the due process to take its course. And you, being the just judge, will reward each and every one accordingly. This we ask through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much indeed, Bishop Odiko. Council, you may proceed if you're ready with this morning's witness.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, commissioners, and members of the audience. This morning's witness is testifying from abroad and via video link. Hello, Mr. Witness, are you there? Thank you.
Hello, I'm fine.
Mr. Witness, we've not met before. My name is Esa Fal, and I'm here to assist you to give your testimony to the commission. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Could you speak into the microphone, Mr. Witness?
Yes, I do understand.
Maybe you'd have to speak up a little more, or you up the volume.
The volume is up. I say I do. I understand.
We can only hear you feebly. Okay, yes, now we can hear you. Could you say something again? Fantastic.
Yes, I understood, yes.
Great, great. Mr. Witness, could you repeat after me, please?
Okay.
I, Aziz Hydara, hereby affirm that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. Mr. Hydara, you've just made a declaration to speak the truth.
Yes.
Under the laws of this country, it is a criminal offense to provide false information or false testimony under a declaration to speak the truth. Do you understand that?
I do.
Good. Normally, our hearings, in our hearings, we do accommodate for interpretation in the local languages, in one of the local languages at least. In which language, local language, would you wish your testimony to be interpreted into?
Mandinka, please.
The Mandinka booth is ready. Thank you very much. So you would respond or you would answer questions or make statements after the interpretation. Understand?
Council come for wala mindigo ning ay nyinin karo ke janni be jabiro kala isi la moy kanna sor lal ya kanna sor foro janni be jabiro kala.
You should also avoid making statements that would overlap with that of others.
ndon hanin kabisa kata fanan ila kuma kan won nyim fanan ni si la moy janning jabi janni be kuma kan fula kan na sor la di fulo non de kuma kan won de sel la ñokanne
Are we together?
be ñokanne ba
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you very much. Mr. Witness, you are called upon today to testify about your work in the task force that was created to assist the the ECOWAS UN investigation team that came to the Gambia sometime in 2008.
sedo ko ye kumande dalilo men kam majam pour essayer dandori wala nyinti ko ida ila dabulo yew kafo mel londi ba holo me task force pour ka dum tangol de ma men yalon ko e nyanna la nyimbankun kan jam men be bola fanna la membe ko EU ECOWAS anin bunda kotangol ila kiskisiro nyim bunda nyin kono.
Okay.
Good. But before you give your testimony, we would want you to provide some basic information about yourself. What are your full names, sir?
Janningi bela se dandiro nyinda mudala folo abedia la nyafolo esila kibar dandani di molla folo folo ito ni kontangodu.
My name's Aziz Hydara.
Ntomu Aziz Hydara leti.
What's your place and date of birth?
Iwuluda mintole andung iwuluda sanjumale fana.
I was born in Georgetown, Makati Island Division.
Nguluta Georgetown le Makati Island Division.
And Georgetown is now known as Janjambure.
Yeah, Janjambure Central River Region.
Sai kafuje ne Janjambure abe dinkira men fananto sai kafuje ne Central River Region.
I was born on the 15th of October 1971.
October karotil tang ani lulu 1971 was ulungule nguluta.
Where did you go to school?
Ila karamo da mura mintole.
Just give us a brief biographical information.
Ya sutien ni drong ila karamo ni londo ni ila ta nyoka nyame.
I went to Methodist Primary School in Georgetown.
Na follow Methodist Primary Karambungule to Georgetown je.
From 1980 to 1987.
Kabo 1980 kata 1987.
Then I proceeded to Armitage High School.
Tuntenda kata Armitage High School.
From 1987 to 1992.
Kabo 1987 kata 1992.
And what did you do after finishing Armitage?
Imoneke briyela Armitage londi kondibo karango nyimbang.
Sometime in 1993, by the end of 1993, I was enrolled at the National Security Service.
Between 1993 bandula mafangala yedu ko dinna dinkirato men kata kanton nin tankada bundati National Security Service.
As a what?
Kake mundi.
As an intelligence officer.
Ye palaso men dinna je wolem kullo dinkarin doku lati ka fama intelligence officer.
And you have since then up to date been working at the intelligence service of this country.
Kabo watola fo yimbe watola. Ibe doku la bankola kullo police la dinkiraldo.
Very well indeed.
Ha wala maketa wala nyama.
And you started as a trainee detective?
Ya damuta damendo wala mun karandir lati me alon ko wala kamul karandini kul wa
trainee membe karang.
Karanga membe karangkang. Aku do go nyingon.
Yes.
Yes, please.
And by 2019 you became a director, a deputy director at the counter-terrorism unit.
2019 na ke deputy director di counter-terrorism unit Bundado.
Yes.
But sometime in 2008,
but what is on that 2008 sama
you worked on the migrants case.
Yido ko ke nyinta malalla ko.
Yes.
Could you tell us how it happened?
Isa fono nye okay no ranyadi de.
Yes, indeed, I can.
Please go ahead.
Lugare afanye tenten.
This happened sometime, I cannot remember the date very well.
Ninkata wato men hakilo te lungu fangu mutanola de.
But I was the head of the investigation unit at the National Intelligence Agency.
Bar wotu mo ntele mo kisiro bunda nyaton koti National Intelligence Agency NIA.
When I was informed by my line director,
Biring ntemu la keba momenti director biro yenyin kibaro dinna.
And who was that?
Wala mujumatinu.
Ibrahim Jim Drame,
Kafola Ibrahim Jim Drame.
Director of Operations.
Wala mu director tinu memata do kolu sambola.
Then he called me that I'll be part of a task force so that we should meet at the police headquarters.
Ayam kumandi ay nyum fonyenko mbetar la kafule kono adu nyanta fero kala ngabe police la korda bato headquarters.
So when I departed and we met at, I think, at the CMC's office.
Betun fana wulta utumo len tata nimanyina mbenta CMC la office auto.
And by CMC, you mean Crime Management Coordinator?
Nigo CMC akoto momenti wala crime management coordinator.
Indeed, yes.
Walem.
And who was the person that occupied that office at the time?
Wato la jumala be office oni nyaton kayakan.
One Yankuba Sonko.
Kafame wutumo Yankuba Sonko.
Do you know the position Mr. Sonko holds today?
Ben jamano men do sainte yalo ne Mr. Sonko mum palace le babulu bang.
Yes, he is the Minister of Interior at the moment.
Atelo minister timember ta banko kan kunya la nyintembeng.
So what happened when you met in Mr. Sonko's office?
Siang mena nara na ke bringal tata albenta Mr. Sonko la office kono.
When we met there, because we don't know what we were called for in the beginning.
Birim bentaje ko folo dula ton tel fawlu malo yen kumandi num munela.
So we were briefed that there will be a visiting UN ECOWAS investigation team.
Ye inata kachandi tumo me nyine fanyen ko. Luntang lubina la menu bina kumpa boro la banko kan kabo ECOWAS aning UN la bundala.
Who was present in this meeting?
Nyimbe wonyinto jumani jumala be maberinje.
Yankuba Sonko, Crime Management Coordinator, Gambia Police Force.
Yankuba Sonko bije Crime Management Coordinator, Gambia Police Force.
Ibrahim Drame Jim, Director of Operations, National Intelligence Agency.
Ibrahim Jim Drame, mabeta je atelum director ti memata dukulu tamando la NIA.
Malamin Sike, Officer Commanding Major Crime at the time, Police.
Ani Malamin Sise, atelum Officer Commanding alam nyaton koti, Major Crime, olem nyin kuja ubalu la kulu no satala nyaton koti.
Numo Kujabi, Officer Commanding Interpol, Gambia Police Force.
Numo Kujabi, Officer Commanding Interpol, Gambia la Police Carola.
Mfali Jabang, Military Intelligence State House.
Mfali Jabang, atebe sojaro la kullo dinkarim bundale la kafame Military Intelligence abe State House la utumo.
My humble self, Aziz Hydara, Officer Commanding Investigations, National Intelligence Agency.
Aninta fango kundingo Aziz Hydara, Officer Commanding Investigation, National Intelligence Agency.
In this meeting, was it attended by the Inspector General of Police?
Yimbe onying fo police la kunti onying ama beta jeleba.
Yeah, that's the thing I cannot remember fully. But either he was at the meeting or we later went to his office to meet him.
Hakilo mawoto sene andino bake katu kufulalem asekeno ay mabe bengoto walla brindel nganna bengo ke kola lon tata tarala office kono.
How about the Minister of Interior at the time?
Minister mebe marle banko kono kunya la wato la du.
Yes, I heard the testimony of one of the witnesses that we attended a meeting at his office.
Ngamo kilina sede yaro moy janka foko ngabengo ke atefangola office kono le fanang.
Which witness are you referring to?
Sede Juma, Sede Juma Laja.
Ibrahim Drame.
Proceed.
And then?
But the meeting I can fully remember with the Honorable Minister
Bengomen Hakilo Samutano Nim Minister Menke
was after the whole exercise.
Wolem bring a do coin kolu ke bandi.
We would come to that meeting. But you cannot remember in the first, prior to commencing this work, whether you had a meeting with the minister.
Bari ko hakilo ta mutanola fo jandingal be do ko nyinda mutala fo alning minister nyi bengo sotole.
No, I cannot. And I want to say something, if you will allow me.
Please go ahead.
Hakilo Mamuta, but Fembembulu left a memfanam fola.
Please go ahead.
And then Yafo.
Yes. I was not part of the task force as explained.
Otumo asatata nyaming ntemantara task force nyimfango kono.
So we are a supporting team for the visiting AU and UN ECOWAS team.
Ntelumu makoirla leti kafola karola menu mulunta uluti menu bina banko kanjang kabonang ECOWAS la bundala ani UN la bundala.
And that support team was referred to as task force.
Anu de marla kafo nying wolle mi kafo le task force.
Okay, maybe, but I had a list of names of task force mentioned in this testimony.
Ha asake barbitun tolu be suffering many alonko wolle keta multi man be task force nyin kono.
Like who?
Including ministers and security chiefs.
Well, minister nin kanton in tankada kunton ko lula molu bijele.
So I have never met any of these people.
Nimolu dentene ni olu mambeng, nene ni mambeng.
In one meeting together.
Ka fombe be meeting kilimoto dinkira kilimoto nene manke.
Okay.
Proceed, please. Proceed.
Among them, the only person I met was the Inspector General of Police and the Minister of Interior.
Wol kono nteni menu benta wole Inspector General member police ani minister memata banko kan kunyalla.
That's right.
And there was no meeting I attended at the police headquarters with any of these people.
Adum be mansoto ntema beta mento police la korda bato ka fo ninyi moli e benje.
So you are called to testify about the work of the support team.
Ye kuma di dalilo men na puri be se dalilo di la fanna men na wala nyindi ko nyinde marla de ma kafo nying wala do ko nying.
And you are right, the task force pretty much comprised service chiefs.
Ito nyala nying task force o nying menu do abe kono wala tanko bunda nyarongo dolti.
But you were a member of the support team, which was also referred to by some as the task force.
Nyala ye mem fo wala nyindi ko ite mu molti mi alon ko be kafule kono mi alon ko de marla kaful nying ite bo kafo nyindi kono bar dol ke kumandi hansa ndol ke kumandi task force lala.
But let's focus on what you and the group you mentioned were doing. That is Yankuba Sonko, Ibrahim Jim Drame, Malamin Sise, and others.
Barisilanga nyati le nying mol la men yana ko ye wolle to fo ko itani wolle bulo du nyoko wala Malamin Sise, Ibrahim Jim Drame aning Yankuba Sonko aning do ko tangol.
That is what you are doing in order to assist the ECOWAS UN investigation team.
Altar raka wala kenu buru nying kamal alsi nying luntan ngol membina pour allié de ma memu ECOWAS ani UN na molti ni nada.
Okay.
That meeting at Mr. Sonko's office.
Mr. Sonko's office okono.
What was it that you discussed?
Ale mune kachaje.
We didn't discuss much.
Mankuja makachaje.
We were told that we will assist the visiting UN ECOWAS investigation team.
Ye memfanye ndro wole mnyindiko. ECOWAS ani UN la kisikisir la kafo mulu menu bina jang ntele nyanta wu kala mulu timen bewlu makoila.
In case they need to talk to any witness, we should be able to provide the witness for them.
Nim misali kama ilaftadia mula momon die mensi ke sedeti ntele nyanta wu mari ferela ngani itandi nyola inai diamu.
Or if they need any document or any other information, we should be able to facilitate that for them.
andum fana ni sulata kaitile la kaiti kuma wala sulata kibar la ntelle nyanta fero kala pour yewo soto.
Essentially, you are to be facilitators.
Amunda nyin kamara ko alto lebe tarla ko borim nelde borim to yala jam.
For the ECOWAS
Pour ECOWAS EU.
For the ECOWAS UN investigation team.
Pour ECOWAS nani UN na inkisir lal.
Yes.
Ha.
That was the official version.
Wala mu kangoti men dital la do ko la karol.
Exactly.
Ha wala.
But in reality, what was the real purpose of this support team, the team that you belong to?
Yeah, I later came to understand that the whole essence was to make a cover up for
nata fahamu ko ntolla taro ko nyin kono dalilo memba duma wala nyinti ko ntelisike moluti na do ko si kolu tamandi nyama mensike kolu bitilati wala ka kolu mabo ke sutura nyame ma ko ntalla karola jayte lafta la nyami.
Why I said this? Because
there
was not at any time I was aware of facilitating to bring any document or being opportune to hear any request from the team.
Katuma lango fo wala mindiko sila manna soto ndetarta men kono ka foko nyile kayti kanin tel bulunga men sambe ye wala ka kibar dila wala ka makoy kuto men ya lon ko wala kitela silo sababu woti jang nde manna wodo ku ke Mike.
Thank you very much. How was your work organized?
Allah do ko nyin ya landi tam sila nyaadil kan.
Yes, from the police headquarters, we were advised that we will be meeting at Kairaba police station.
Itumbirim bata police korda ba nyinto inatanyi yamaro dinna ko mbe karib bengo kala Kairaba police station olto.
What time of the day?
Tilo montoro wati jumala albe karla benna.
Most of the time in the afternoon.
Si jama dal nka ben tilibulu nka ben tilibulole.
And going into late evening.
Wala be ularanding suma.
Okay. And what would you be doing there?
At the police headquarters, we meet at a building behind the police, how do you call it, charge office or the police station.
Police headquarters na bendula ka ke dinkira mentu abe koma le charge office wala police station o koma je.
And what would you be doing during these meetings?
Actually, it came to me as a very, very big surprise. What we were doing there was to supervise for the rewriting, or if you like, the copying of diaries.
Menna tante tereng ko kona ketanye terem bati nkatara ko menna je wolem diary olu nka si nka wolle sain kan safe diary ol menu ye dina pour ka wolla ko lu sain kan safe.
Who supervised this work?
Nyindo ko nyin jumala ka nyaton kaya.
Our team, it appears that Yankuba Sonko was the head of the team.
Na kafo molu de menna ta finti wala mnyindi ko Yankuba Sonko la ma nyaton kote.
Who was present during the rewriting of these diaries?
Nyin jumala be mabere nyinje ninga tara nyin diary nyin nalbe tabela safela ka safe ku ko ka bundi jang ka safe jang.
Indeed, the whole team was there. Yankuba Sonko, crime management coordinator at the time, police.
Kafo molu men be yen tombo mbele katarje de Yankuba Sonko aning CMC mbele kama beje.
Director of Operations NIA Ibrahim Drame.
Aning Director NIA Ibrahim Drame.
OC Major Crime Police Malamin Sise.
Malamin Sise OC crime serious crimes la bunda.
Numo Kujabi OC Interpol Police.
And Numo Kujabi OC Interpol Police.
Mfali Jabang Military Intelligence.
Mfali Jabang Military Intelligence.
Myself Aziz Hydara.
Mfango Kungo Aziz Hydara.
So we were present to supervise this thing.
Between Ntelebi Jede Purukanyindo ko tamandi anenka ayamarolu tamandi.
There were some young police officers brought, they were assisting in writing this diary.
Police funding ke olu dolu fanalu sotonta ye mennu nati mennu ketantul fanalla makoir laliti purukanyin safero ke nyin diary olu la safero ka kumo kangulu bondi diary do kono ke safe diary do bala.
Do you know which diaries were copied?
Yal ne ye diary jumal le safe o nyama banke bondi jang ka saundi jang.
Not exactly all the diaries I know, but I know any diary they know that there is entries or records of the movement of these illegal migrants or West African nationals will be involved.
Hakilo mamutano diary olu menu bemu bari diary wo diary me yalon ko molu la ko safeta je menu keta wo wuda ilaluti wala mo findutili ji banku dingulu menu yalon ko iketa tamalalti wala ko safeta diary wo diary to yo diary yo lenati ji.
Some of the diaries may include
diary olu dolu fanal sitaraje menu yalon ko asakeno nyinti
like Kairaba Station.
Kairaba Station ola diary. Bundung Station ola diary.
I'm not very sure of PIU, I think. But
amman koy mabake bari asake PIU fanana diary.
And
Yani
those are the ones you can remember.
Wallam diary
Kairaba Station, Bundung, PIU.
yes, thank you.
Hakilo yolu mutale.
And could you recall what information was removed from the new diary, from the old diary, and not included in the new diary?
Foy hakilo sa mudano. Mun kibar jumal del me alon ko ye bondi o diary kototo andu meke o diary kudo nyindo.
Very well, yes.
Hakilo samuta.
Tell us.
Fanyam ba.
These are entries that affect the movement of these West African nationals or irregular migrants, they call it.
Ni saferolu men ya lon ko me sawundi ke bo dari ko to ke kutamanyi ndo wala keta kibaro luti menu be dendi mo findula nyentili ji banko dingolu la wala wuda ilalu ko tubabolu ka fa men migrants wala kode mangolu sawundi ke bondi janke ke jang.
Mr. Witness, what you are saying is a very serious or is a massive cover-up by the government. That's what you're saying.
Exactly, but that's what happened.
But this is a very serious accusation. You are under an affirmation to speak the truth. An affirmation equates to a statement made under oath.
Bari nyimu kuja balde be men foka mansa kunda kan along ko janni be kayla sedani ro nyinda mutala ye tawoleta andu nyinta wota nyinga be kuma ka be kole ko ni kalidro ibina sedani ro dila.
Indeed, I believe in my faith.
Tonyalo. Lata na dankene yalale.
Yeah, and I know I am swearing. It's like I am touching the Holy Quran. I'm swearing.
Andu amunta janninga damuta konga abaketale konga al-Qur'an le mutangankali.
Are you sure? Are you sure that what you are saying happened?
If ilata nyinna le bang ibe men fokan ko kule me alon ko aketale.
Indeed, very well.
Aketale kende kede.
And where did this happen?
Inketa mintola silam.
This happened at Kairaba Station.
Nyinketa Kairaba Station also.
Sometimes we will go during weekends in the morning. So weekdays we go after work.
Tomorrow lunkata weekend ole kono so mandasi tomorrow lun sitanga doko ke nin do ku lungol lemu nim molo jita doko la lon tulukata.
There is an office or a building behind Kairaba Station.
Bungu bije wala office of Kairaba Station o fango koma je.
If you go there is a small hall, I don't know whether a living room or a parlor, but there's a small hall, that's where we do it.
Bitung bungo to dinkira bije deme ya lonko sal kono balom abako bitung sidulalom wala salo lem delkasi o dinkira le to kanyindo koke.
While this activity was going on, did you all know that you were in fact falsifying public records?
Mala men na nyungkul bebe taraka kitara kering. Fo atol be men be ma berinje fo al kayle ale nyullon ne ko albe o baro men albe men ke kanje kule me yalon ko man sakunda la kaytolu kay safirol albe wol del filindi kan
No doubt.
Ha hakil fulate woto wolem.
And who again did you say was present when this activity was going on?
sila iko jumala fana ko to mo doti me yalon ko wala man fana ma beta je tumala men na nyunku be kering.
No, it was this team.
Amanda nyin kafo wolem doro.
Just give us the names again.
Tol murun kamba ye dinna ban ko tenke.
Okay, Yankuba Sonko, Crime Management Coordinator, Gambia Police Force at the time.
Yankuba Sonko memo crime management coordinator ti Wotembo.
Ibrahim Drame, Director of Operation NIA.
Ibrahim Drame, Director of Matadoko Sambola NIA.
Malamin Sise, OC Major Crime.
Malamin Sise, OC Major Crimes. Olem kuja ubalu bundati.
Numo Kujabi, OC Interpol Police.
Numo Kujabi, atalam OC Interpol Police la Carola.
Mfali Jaba, Military Intelligence.
Mfali Jabang, Sojaro la Kullo Dinkarim Bunda, Military Intelligence.
Myself, Aziz Hydara.
And in the Famokuno, Aziz Hydara, Intel Marta, Intel Director to Kisikiro Bunda la Carola, NIA.
OC, Officer Command.
OC, Officer Commanding, NIA.
But Mr. Hydara.
Very Mr. Hydara.
Mr. Yankuba Sonko, Honorable Minister of Interior,
Honorable Minister Yankuba Sonko, Memo Minister de Banko Kanjang,
appeared before the commission. He accepted that there was cover-up, but he claimed that he did not know that the diaries were doctored or were being doctored.
Bari ayete ñi mem fo wala ñi diko atama ñi londi soto ñi ne kafu ko ñi diary ñi yeku ye kibaro dul talay ikonole atama londo soto.
Anyway, I know he was the head of our team and he was present, he was direct there as the head of the team when this thing was happening.
Ntenga melonde wairi mbejele. Atele muntu law kafo nyaton koti adum bewodo ko ke kantumo menna ama betale afango bijele konte bijenyam.
What do you say to the suggestion that he was not aware that diaries were being doctored?
Ite munasorabe mem fola niya moy ako ateman londi soto ñin na kafo ko ñin ate londo soto la ñin to ko ñin diary ñin ye kibaro dul tale ikonole.
I'll be very much surprised, but that will not be true also.
Ubengela yante teren ku baleti bar butum fanan atakela to nyati.
Are you suggesting that the Honorable Minister misled the Commission?
Munda ite benyine fo kanko Honorable Minister ay ñing commission ñing ay filindile.
Anyway, I have high regards for him, but I'm still going by his advice during his testimony that we should come and tell the truth. So that's what I'm doing.
Na bunya bake na horoma. Bari bitung ate fanga ya maro mendi ko nga na nga tonya fo. ndefana mbetama kan wala laten.
Are you absolutely sure about what you are saying?
Ilata nyinna la fam fanki asana yati ma ko ibe men fokan ilata la.
Absolutely, no iota of doubt.
Kan leke de lata la hakili fulo fongotiji.
Ibrahim Jim Drame, who was your boss at the time, who brought you into the support team or the task force. He appeared before the commission yesterday. He too claimed that if the diaries were doctored, he was not present. As he was not present for most of the time. He attended only two sessions at Kairaba.
Jamal Begi ila sio nying adabu abukatara mabering. Meeting fula drong ben fula ay wala mabe Kairaba.
I heard him say that.
What do you say to that suggestion, to what he said?
No, I did not agree with it.
Was he? What do you disagree with?
That he was not present when this was done.
What is the real truth?
Lead Council, I want to say something here.
Lead Council left a femme for a jang.
None of our superiors at the time.
The law nyaton kolu tembo telube.
Yankuba Sonko, Ibrahim Jim Drame included.
Yankuba Sonko ni Ibrahim Jim Drame be dabiji.
None of them were themselves when it comes to matters relating to the presidency or the government.
Ibgatare fang sawo ko kundi ning adenta president wala la kuala wotembo.
What do you mean by that? Can you clarify? Can you explain that?
Yes, they want to be seen active in enforcing those requests.
Ikalafile ay fintik ay wala lankena mako itelubeo kangole tamandi kanka bambandi.
Are you suggesting that they were enthusiastic implementers of those unlawful orders?
For a canyon foko a catara a corontor in the Purco Barak Cansifal ni Mialon Catele di Purke Taman di Tariarinke.
Yes. Because I give you an example.
Katumbe misalo dilela.
Jim Fali Jabang.
Yem Fali Jabanje.
Blessed memory.
Alama ale ne kafarikaye.
You know, most of the people in the group feared him.
Mojama be kafonyin kono iman hanyi anya.
For the simple reason.
Dalilan dinkilin kanko.
They believe that he reports people to the president.
Ilata nyina lako atele kam molu la kalamiro di president wala.
So none of these people
between molu mume obe
will deliberately absent themselves from such activities when Fali is present.
Itelu dodo te sonna pour que fam da bondi wala ye balam pour kana bengola nim Fali be daming ite sonna wala.
I think the important thing here is
na mera men kumma yata jang wala mnyinti ko
we must say the truth.
Na katanga to nyafo.
It has happened.
Aketale.
Ibrahim Drame knows me very well.
Ibrahim Drame yentelong kendeke.
He knows I will not come here to lie.
Ay fango yalo na kontetina jangana faniafo.
So that is the truth, Lister.
Wale mutonyati.
But I mean, Mr. Witness, ironically,
that's my testimony.
Ironically,
alu wale munna sede yaroti.
Mr. Yankuba Sonko, Honorable Yankuba Sonko,
Mr. Yankuba Sonko, Honorable,
barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of the Gambia,
Mola Meya Lonko, Loyal Mati,
and he's a honorable minister.
and Mobunya Mati, Minister Mati.
A lot of us, me including, hold him in very high regard.
Mo Jamalo Abel Konandefon Kundingo Ngamuta Mobaldi, na Bunya.
Has also said exactly what you said.
Aya Fanae Memford ite Memford wrong at Fanae Wolefo.
That he was speaking the absolute truth and he had no reason to lie.
Ko ate Fanambe Tonya Keso Abolofo Kandalila or Dalilo member Sabulate Kumasotoba.
Ibrahim Jim Drame
Ibrahim Jim Drame
was also here yesterday.
ate Fanambe Jankunu.
Again, a very senior officer in government. He had occupied very, very senior positions in government. Both Director of Internal Security and Operations of the NIA and now Director of Operations for the Drug Law Agency of the Gambia.
Director Operations Member Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Gambia.
He too said that he was not there. And that we should believe him because he was speaking the absolute truth. And he had no reason to lie. What do we make of these three testimonies, Mr. Witness? So this commission would not take very seriously self-serving statements by witnesses that, oh, believe me, I will not lie, I would give this message. The commission would not believe that. They would not pay much credence to that. But I want you to tell us about the relationship between Fali Jabang and your de jure leaders in that task force. Your de jure leaders would, in terms of position, be Yankuba Sonko and Ibrahim Jim Drame. What was the relationship with Fali Jabang?
Left I dinkira sene andinye. Ko I men follow nyinti ko commission ibe searing ibe cross-running hakil tuala ka fo mennu kana jante faniya fola mbeto nya drone fola ibe obe jibela bar bitum lafitale nyin tembe yedinkira sene andinye men yalon ko wala mennu be nya ton kayala wo ko nyin kunna wutumo Yankuba Sonko anin Ibrahima Jim Drame itella ko inin Fali Jabang temo itella londo to abe lari nu nyaadile.
I cannot say much about their relation.
I mean the working relationship at that time, working for the task force.
You know, Mfali is a type of person at the time, he always wants to be in control.
Mfali bumbole tiwo tembo me ya lonko. Wati atekatarle atekallafile ayetara kolu kunna kolu yetara marari ngate bulu.
Because I don't fool most of the time with him.
Katu wati jama dal ntena mbuka na kolu bukatano nyola.
During the time I was head of investigation, I used to have arguments and problems with him.
Wato mbekisikisiro bunda nyaton kayala nakatu nyosa balale andu nkakole akulu fanalu soto.
But
he comes to me and decides to give me orders to go by, which I always refuse to do.
Akanante kanne kafo abe kango dilantela purunte si do ko ke wonyama barinte mbuka song.
How about
the others? He may have attempted to do the same to all.
Andun lata loko alaftap me asekeno alaftao kukile ngule sambala dolu fanali kang.
But who was really in charge of what was going on at Kairaba station?
Silang fang ke jumala tarra marlin nung kuol la membe ke kan nung Kairaba police station.
Yankuba Sonko, CMC.
Yankuba Sonko, CMC.
So are you telling us for certain that Yankuba Sonko was present there, knowing fully well that these diaries were being doctored? And he supervised that. Is that your testimony, Mr. Witness?
Amundai kame famole wole mnyindiko ila kumakang nyine mnyindiko kumakang sabatiri ngonde ko Yankuba Sonko honorable abenu mabere nyindinkira nyindo wato mena be indari dala ibe kumakang dol talala je kasa undi dinkira dor.
Remember, you are under an affirmation to speak the truth.
Hakilo murundi koma de ko yeta wole ta ko ibe to nyale fola.
Yes, I know.
Ha ngalone.
What is your answer?
And that's my testimony.
Adun wole mun na sede yaroti.
What is your testimony?
Muna mwila sede yaroti.
My testimony is
Na sede yaro
Yankuba Sonko and all the names I mentioned were present in this cover.
Yankuba Sonko aninga menu beto fo ibema betale nyinkoto konga fo nyame.
And what was this exercise about?
Wala nyindo ko nyin at muneng abeta ta na muneng.
History writes his diaries and omit any entries relating to the movement of this West African migrants.
Wala mnyinte ka kumakangolu bondi diary doto ke saundi diary doto. Bari fem kibar wo kibar na denta ni luntangolu wala ni wuda ilalle la kola tubabulu kafu me migrants wolu ntewlu malam bewlu tulajele ntewlu saundila.
So what happened to the old diaries?
Silang muna na ke nyin diary ko to nyinna.
Anyway, each day after the exercise, we go home, we live with the police.
Luolu ndi nintel ngado ko ka hanfo njita nka sai sule nga kaitolu betu police.
And who would be in charge of them?
Juma katara marli la je inal tata.
The members of the police in the team should be able to say that.
Menu be alon ko police la molu menu be kafo nyin kono wolu be o fono la le.
For how long has this exercise gone on?
Ayal ta fo wati jellal be nyin ko ke kan.
I cannot remember exactly, but few days, maybe a week or so.
Ngakilo tamuta no la de kende kede bari tili dantalo ngasekeno fan lokun kilinyo.
Was this before the international team arrived, or was it while the team was in Gambia?
Fo nyin ko nyin abe kala wato mena fo janni nyin kafo nyin be nyin kiskisir la kafo nyin be futala na banko kan janna bang waranto fo wato e futata le fo ka pare.
No, before they come.
Hani janning ibina la lom nyinketa.
Did you work with the team when the international investigators arrived?
Nyin kiskisir la nyin menu nyana na bonna mane kana fo inite do ko ini do ko ke nyokan na ba.
That is another interesting point.
Wo fanamu bunda doleti meye solo soto.
Tell us about it.
Kuma fo nyoto.
Because I personally, I never meet this team.
Kadunda fango kungo ninyi molu fangolu nene mambe. Ni manyoje fere.
Meet in the sense,
Ka foko niye nyoje.
we did not have a meeting with them, we did not sit with them.
Ni mambenke adu ni man si fanang nyokan.
The only thing we did was
Na menda manke wala mnyintiko.
to be around, because these people were having their meetings or consultations, whatever,
Kadu nyimolu brinata.
UN house.
Ibe la kachalu ni nyoje ul nimbengulu keka UN la korda baleto.
At Cape Point, Bakau.
Membe Cape Point bakao.
So what we do is,
Nteluka menke walem.
But at that stage, just a moment, at that stage, while they were at UN House in Bakau, in Cape Point, where was your team based?
Wato la birito nata fo itata ila bengoke anila nyoje UN no korda bato bakao Cape Point. Atol itala kafo nyebe kafo mento atol benum sabatere mindole.
that's what I'm saying. We hung around the corridor at the UN house or downstairs. In case they need us, we go and collect witnesses for them.
Nteluka tana jele drombe murumuruna bitun dinkiralu toje salo luto bungo kono toje wala nga si du masal bato ke bato ni sulata memmen nan telu kono wala menna ilaftanga menke ntel si wuli ngawke.
Very disorganized indeed.
Andu amanke kuti fam men tembeta.
So the base that you had at Kairaba, was it a staging position to go and assist the UN, or that was a factory for the doctoring of diaries?
Fo Allah sabari dinkira nying Kairaba police station yal samba damer fo dinkira le mialon ko albe sirinjele pour ka Allah ko ke ba fo dinkira le mialon ko pour aller
al tata jele pour ka nyin kayto lu fanan ke do ku diye dro.
We were not assisting them. To me, we were not assisting the visiting team.
Listen to the question. Maybe it's a bit too long. So, while your team was working at Kairaba, was that to be your base from where you would go and meet UN staff and assist them, or that was just a factory for manufacturing or fabricating evidence?
For alnya na sabati la wolto nong damento yalon ko alni UN nay molnya na jonyo jela wolto waranto fo jele mo alla dingirade damento yalon ko albe karlak nyin kaytol dairi la kol be dunna nyokono wolto ka kibaro bundi dairi koto ka sawni ndaro ko fo wolto mo alewo ke wolde.
No, that was a temporary meeting point to work on the diary.
Otomo wuche bendulalti wato men do ko ke kanyin diary la karola.
So what do you say to the suggestion that Kairaba was supposed to be the place where you would stay and receive information from the UN, request from the UN, and then you provide the information?
Ko alnya na sabatila nun Kairaba le ning ayatara UN nay mol ni surata la wato wati pour kibaro la karola e binal kamala wolto e bal kusonson na wolto pour kay kibaro sotal bulu.
That I'm not aware of.
Mambo kalama.
So while at Kairaba, as far as you know, did you receive any request from the UN ECOWAS which you actioned?
UNAU la mol bulu me ya lonko anatete la karola andu yesim far nya data akor.
Possibly, but me personally, I was not aware of any request.
Asekeno de barinte kumo mambo kiliwo kiling mambo dodo kalama.
While you were at Kairaba, were you aware of the presence of the international investigations in Gambia?
For inatana kalamudara ko nyimbanta lundal menyana bona mane menyana bona na UNAU lundal menyana na fo ya kalamudara ko be banko kaneba.
I heard of their arrival, but not when I was in Kairaba.
Ngela na moile de kafoi natale bari woyatara wamanke watu ti watu membe Kairaba.
So when you finished the diary doctoring tasks at Kairaba,
bring alia diary la nying kibar soundiro nying bang Kairaba.
What happened after that?
Munena na ki wokola.
Yeah, the visiting UN ECOWAS team arrived.
Ha kumba borlal nata menu buta ECOWAS UN.
Then we were attached to them.
Tumolo yente lakolu ni katandi nyola.
So we were close to the UN house where they were making their consultations.
Bitu yente fanal katandi otembole UN la dinkirato nyojo kakedameng.
So that's what we were doing until they left.
Mbewele tamandi kango nyama hanifo ibotajang.
At what stage, after that, did you have a meeting with any superior officers?
Wokola for anything nyaton ko bengo soteleba.
Indeed, yes.
Waketale.
When was this? Was it before the UN arrived or after the UN arrived?
Ninketa wati jumala fo janni UN EU mol be futala lamba fo janni ifradin kola lamba.
What I remember was after the departure of the UN, after they finished their task.
Nde hakilo memuta wole mbrinyi UN EU la mol nata jang UN ECOWAS la mol nata jang briye bandi itari ngolom nyimbe nata ke.
And what was this meeting about?
Okay, I was in my office. Then I received information from my boss, Ibrahim Adrame, that we should go to the Ministry of Interior. Then we left and we went to the Ministry of Interior.
And who was in attendance?
The same team, Yankuba Sonko, Crime Management Coordinator.
Crime Management Coordinator.
Ibrahim Jimdrame, Director of Operations.
Ibrahim Jimdrame, Director of Operations, NIA.
Malamin Sise, OC Major Crime, Gambia Police Force.
Malamin Sise, OC Major Crimes, Gambia Police.
Numo Kujabi, OC Interpol Police.
Numo Kujabi, OC Interpol Police.
Myself, Aziz Hydara, OC Investigation, NIA.
Alinda Famukumo, Aziz Hydara, OC Investigation, NIA.
We were led to the Minister's office by the Inspector General of Police, Esa Baji Jesus.
Meye mentambita nyato kan samba office ba nyinto wala keta Esa Baji ti atelum IGP ti wotumo.
And what were the discussions during that meeting?
Yeah, it was a short meeting.
Akata ben sutuneti.
The minister just thanked the team.
Minister Ekafomolu Jai.
Who was the minister at the time?
Honorable Usman Sonko, Minister of Interior.
Honorable Usman Sonko, atelo Minister Tiotumo, Memata Banko Kankunyal.
And what did he thank you for?
Because prior to that, we had the news that the Gambia has been exonerated by the investigation of the UN ECOWAS team.
Gambia to Senayandile, UN ECOWAS la kisikisir lalu menunata jang.
About the disappearance of the West African national.
Ko men keta mo findula triji banku dingol la yemangoti jang ako ya Gambia to Senayandi ako konole.
The Gambia government, I mean.
Walam Gambia man sakundati.
So the minister during the meeting thanked the team for the good job they have done prior to the arrival of this investigation team.
Minister ay kafomolu jay ay numbara pour yedoku kendo menke jalni nyin kiskisir la kafolu be futala banko ka.
Mr. Witness.
Yedo.
What did you understand the minister to have been doing when he thanked you for the good job you have done prior to the arrival of the UN ECOWAS team? What was he thanking you for? What was the good job he was thanking you for?
Minister law kumakango kal tentu kal jay allo do ko nyi do ka fa ale do ku kendo menke janni nyi ECOWAS UN na molbe fudala ale do ku kendo menke itela mira lodo atata kal tentu kal jay mun ku kendel bara la ale menke janni wolbina.
Of course, our supervision of the cover-up.
Wala mnyinti nga kolo samba nyame nga do ko kenya men pour ka nyin ko be nun kamabo.
And what did that cover-up entail in the main part?
Oma boro nying ay mune abe kono munni mune be kono ay mune fudi mune ba kono oma boro nying.
That is erasing or omitting all entries regarding the movement of the West African nationals during the period.
Wala mnyinti o wato mo findula nyintili ji banku dinglu menu nata jang ila ko safeta dawoda biringa wolu be bondi kuolu kono amunta ngawolu bondi kuolu kono nyamin abe amunta la koda ala kuma kamulu dalilo moleti wodo ko menketa.
As far as you know,
itela londoto
was there a doubt in the room
fo
as to what you were being congratulated for?
fo moy hakili fulo soro jela bay tarta kal tendu kal jay ko men naba bungo nyin kono ji
No, we all knew what he was talking about.
hani mbele yalo abe men fo kan nun.
How about Esabaji Jesus? It did not appear that he was in the first meeting at the CMC's office. He was not at Kairaba. Did he know what the minister was congratulating you for, as far as you know?
itela londoto Esabaji Jesus ata mantara no CMC la meeting follow do ando amata no kairaba fana sila fate ya lon ne bang minister nying atara kal tendu kal jay mum baran la bang itala londoto ba
Of course, my understanding is he knows very well.
Ndela fahamu roto de wala mnyinti ko aya lonne aya fahamu le membe keri.
What would you say to the suggestion that he did not know anything about the cover-up? He did not know anything about the doctoring of the diaries. What would you say to that?
ite mona sore be man fulania moy ko atama hani londi soto nyim maboro ta me yalon ko wala kita ando mal londi soto nyim kuto to me yalon ko wala kita nyin diary la falingo de ka kuma ko bondi diary ko to nyindo ka saundi diary ko to kutamaro
I have two reasons to believe that he should be aware of.
Ngadali la fula soto kalako abota kalamale.
Tell us.
afanya
One, the CMC cannot be involved in such an exercise without the IGP knowing.
Follow CMC te tarano la nyinyundo ku façon kunna satara police kuntonko IG mambo kalama.
And what other point?
Secondly,
Fulanjaw
during the meeting at the minister's office,
bengo be ke kantu men na minister la office oto.
the IGP also spoke.
IG fango fanandia mutajele.
What did he say?
ay mona fo at IG
He also thanked us
Afana yen tolu jayi
and advised us
anataya mari fanan.
that this should be kept secret
Ko insi jin ko ke kulloti ngake alkunutoti de.
and emphasized that we should be loyal to our country.
Anda nyim bambandi ko nsi tilin na banko fasa.
And told us that, made us to believe that this is loyalty to our country.
Anda te nyina itandina purunga lako mbe menke kawonya amunta na banko kanole yo sabu.
But in my mind at the time,
Arotumo nte sondo mokono.
I will say, was this loyalty to Yaya Jammeh or to the press, to the country?
Mbeme mira kanwole mnyinti nyindu. Ibe Yaya Jammeh le fasa kanka luaye wala ibe banko le fasa kanka lo banko.
Did they say anything about Yaya Jammeh at the meeting?
bendula nyindo fo kuma soto de la bam men fota Yaya Jammeh la ko to bam bendula to
Not that I remember.
Ani hakilo mambula ododo ndina.
Did they say that they would report to Jammeh?
fo ya fo la bam ko be na ko nyin tala fa nan ka futandi Yaya Jammeh ma ba
Oh, sorry, Council, yes.
What was it that was said?
Council.
muna fota wala ko to
Yes, the minister told us that he was going to talk to the president.
Adu minister nyina fo nyenko. Atabitala le katadi amu president we.
That so that we can be compensated for the job we have done.
Purinyin kamala isendol fanalu buluma sai puruna doku kendo menge.
And were there any compensations as far as you know?
jusunya burango ditala bang ila londo do bang
For my side, I was never aware of.
Ndela karola de mambo kala mam femfeng malonje.
We understand that soon afterwards, Numo Kujabi became DG NIA.
nganyim fa amle ko tariyare nge ko nyin kero ko la no moku jabi onara na ke DG di mi onkata kordati yoti NIA.
Yes, indeed.
Ha keta wala nyama.
Was that compensation?
Omumuna de jusu nyabura ya jusu la nyabu wala ba.
I may not know, But one can say that.
Ase kente malom bari mo fanan be mirala de mo so fono le.
Equally, Yankuba Sonko also became Inspector General of Police.
And Wokola Fana Yankuba Sonko na take Inspector General to Police.
But Jesus, was he compensated? I don't think he was.
Jesus
Jesus, I'm not aware of.
Jesus started Mambo Kalama.
Was this the end of the matter for you with regards to the story of these Ghanaians?
Fo nyinam ko dandula di bang nying ko nyin tamandro do Ghanaian no la ko do bayde londo men so je.
No.
Hani?
What happened afterwards?
Mun narna ke o ko la ko tanke.
Yes, later I was called again by my director of operation, Ibrahim Hydara.
Rol be kola na director na tan kumandi memmarta do kolu sambola Ibrahim Hydara.
That I should meet him somewhere around Joshua Cemetery.
Kon sita na e ben dinkirato damembe Joshua mbade ko bala.
I went there, I met them there.
Ntatange taraje.
I found few people around inside the cemetery.
Ngammo fula fanan taraje bade ko fango konoje.
More than tang, not more fula.
Few people.
More danta, okay, more danta.
More than 10 people I saw, but there were some people there, I cannot remember.
Asiata mo tangotile bari molu bijeng hakilo babe mbutano drong.
Proceed.
Yeah, this was late in the evening, around Maghrib.
Nyamura randingoleti fitir wato fang.
So when I went inside, I found him and he informed me that I will be traveling tonight.
Birim futata ngate fango taraje. Ay nyin kibaro le dinako, wolun suto fango ntenyanta tamala.
Go where?
Kataminto.
To go to Ghana.
Purkata Ghana.
For what?
Purumunna.
Because I found exhumation exercise happening at the cemetery.
Kadu ngatara ibe fure urole la bade ko konoje.
And what role were you to play in this?
Say muna begeleted a tamandro, muna begeleted a do goti nyinto.
I was to join the delegation escorting the bodies to Ghana.
Ntebe kafula kafo molle mamenu be fure ulus dandana ke samba Ghana.
Those would be remains, not bodies.
Otakira fure ol desire, obekala bala mafe.
Tomalu, tolu menu tute jatol.
Balol bala.
Yes,
Ah.
And did you participate in that?
Ida bulata ko nyin kono ba.
yes, I went.
Ha, ntatale.
So how many remains, how many human remains were exhumed?
Ye bala ma hada ma dingo bala to ma jendel wuri.
I knew about this when we arrived in Ghana, that there were 4 bodies.
Mbota kala mabirim futata Ghana ko nani yemenu bala to malu wuri akatata kanyam mo nani lema.
Were they all put in the same container or in separate containers? And by container, I mean either box or coffin.
Foye beke kune kilingole kono bang fure kes lembang ko ye fanan mo yake ifayenda bang.
Let me explain. When I arrived at the cemetery, I saw the grave and I saw these people wrapped in a blue nearby.
Na bade ko je abari nganyili je ye moro nylon blue ringole kono.
So I left for Banjul before they removed the remains from the grave.
Ndema na tujede mbota jele kata Banjul jani be nyil fonglu fintindi la dinko kono.
Because I was informed by my director that I should go to the accountant and collect my per diem.
Katu na director nyina fonye ko nsita na doku la ya memmarta na flow controller na do kudlato ngata na padiyam kamaje wala ibenjola menna pour natama silo.
And by your director you mean Ibrahim Jim Drame?
And niko ila director atelamu Ibrahim Jim Drame.
Exactly.
Tell him.
What do you say to the suggestion that he does not know or did not know anything about this?
Ite mune soto ebe memfola niya moy ko atama londi soto waranto amam fen kalam da nyun ko nyinto.
I would be surprised.
Why would you be surprised? He has denied all knowledge of this.
Anyway, this is what happened to my knowledge.
Why would you be surprised that he has denied this?
Because this is something that happened.
Would you have been able to travel to Ghana without your director giving you directives?
For ebe silo soto na labanga tama kata Ghana ning ayatar ila director aman silo dila.
No, I wouldn't be able to go. I cannot take myself.
Hani
selected.
Tanola katu ni mantombong ya kango dina ntitanola.
But you are certain that it was him who gave you approval and gave you this information that you should go.
Andong nyinse ate andu yenyi ne sabatindi ko atele silo dila puruyeta andu atele kibaro nyin fanandila puruyeta.
Indeed.
Akitawanya.
All right. And arrangements were concluded for you to travel, correct?
Kachal to bendita nyoka puruyeta ila tamasilo.
Yes.
And who went on that trip? Who else went on that trip?
Jumani juma el tata osilola, tamasilo.
The delegation was headed by the then Minister of Health.
What was the person's name?
Todung. Home Minister Memara Jara Kendala.
I think it's Maria Tujalo, if I'm not mistaken.
Musole ya nyatonka ya nimanyina atele minister tu mo memata jara kendala Maria Tujalo wale kafo nyatonka ya ndelo menu tata.
And who else?
Aninjuma.
The then permanent secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, I forgot the name, but it's Mr. Ture, something Ture.
Utumo memu permanent secretary, Minister Bundala, member Gambia ni mbantala banko lutemo fanandabe kafomo lukono le menu tata. Ya nyina tato la bara akondomu Ture le Mr. Ture.
Would Maudo ring a bell?
Niamo Maudo.
Gentleman, tall, black.
Between ke fingolong lo jango atelem.
Would that be Mr. Maudo Ture?
Maudo Ture, Mr. Maudo Ture.
I believe so, yes.
Latala kolem.
I last met him in Sierra Leone. He was either a deputy high commissioner or he was working at the embassy.
Labanta jela Sierra Leone le aseke atelem commissioner no lankoti no wotembo bari labanta jela Sierra Leone le utumo embassy otu.
Real gentleman. That was my former boss.
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He's a very good man.
Yes. And who else?
Aninjuma.
Malamin Sise.
Malamin Sise.
And myself.
Anindafang.
So how did you travel to Ghana?
Silang altama da nyari le kata Ghana Bangkoka.
Yeah, we very uncomfortable.
Natamo nyanga katata sila kolen netide. Aman sono ya.
Tell us about
They
it.
put us in a plane.
Yembulandi kulunti la lekono.
What?
Like a cargo plane, sort of.
Kulunti la membe ko bagasi sambara o men kanyi marsandiso lu samba yembulandi ole kono.
That sounds very much like UN travel.
Yes, exactly. you sit like you are in a helicopter.
Ni be sila eka sile ko ni misali kam akakele ko ni be helicopter le kono.
It's like a military flight.
Abekole ko doron ko sojaro la helicopter lo.
And very uncomfortable, you said. And you flew to where?
We flew to Accra.
Ndata Accra.
We arrived very late in the night because it took many hours.
Mvutata suto bale katu meta silo kambaka.
Banjul to Accra should be on average 2 hours. 4.
Yeah, but
4 hours.
more than 4 hours.
Banjul to Accra, 4 hours.
Kabo Banjul kata Accra montoro wati nani bari sedo ko itel fangolo itel meta ila meo tambita wati nano lale.
Should be 4 hours. Yes. And what happened when you arrived in Accra?
Menana ke bring al furata Accra Ghana bango kam.
Yes, when we arrived in Accra,
Bring futata Accra.
we found it was like the airport was organized for our arrival.
Abeko parendiro lukentel komale kuluntila jidula toje pour kantelu bentungu.
What kind of preparation was that?
Parandire sifanya di yemen kal ko ma je janal futala.
We found tens of journalists and other people around.
Nga mo jama letara je journalist lu kibar talalu mo jama anim mo jamalu kotango.
So when we arrived, we just went straight into the, whether that was the terminal room or whatever. We went inside.
Birintal futata drong minim manke bitun dunta fo jelon terminal oti bam fo bum nyaadi lam bum bunnem bang barintel dundunta kono to bumule kono tumo.
Because what happened was, interestingly, the whole team.
Katu mune natake nyinketa solo tintel ka fo molube.
Or the delegation, none of us were aware of what happened about this migrant issue.
Katu ntelu mo mondi mo manku fahamu o wudai molla o kolto.
Because at the time, I did not know that Malawi Sise was one time in 2005 part of this investigation at the time.
Katu hani Malawi Sise membe kono. Malo nun ko ate fon tarta kisikisir ka fo kono le nun 2005 watu men ko nyinketa.
Because in 2005, when this was happening, I was in Darfur.
Katu 2005 nyinko fon be kala Gambia kan banko kan tumomen. Wayatara ntebe Darfur.
And the Minister of Health, the head of delegation, from my observation, it seems he did not know much about this issue of migrants.
And the minister men famata jara kende ala ate fanan na korosiro ni hakil toto akitale ko ate fanan man femfello nyi wuda ila la koto.
So immediately what I did was I spoke to Mr. Ture.
Bitun tanga menke onoto drong wole mu ndia muta Mr. Ture.
And I advised him to talk to the minister, not to talk to the journalists.
Ngaya mari nkai dia mu minister bari kana dia mu nyinkibar talali.
Because the minister, I believe, did not know much about it, and she was very uncomfortable.
Katu ngalon ko minister amang kibar sari lo nyinkoto andung aketa yedde ungoti o tembo.
So we went inside. She agreed, and she did not talk to any journalist.
Betun asonta amandia mu journalist wo journalist ye betun dunta kono to nyalen tata si.
So they took us to our hotel. The following day we went to the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Utungo kolalo yen samba na hotel olto betun asamo utumolo yen samba minister bundala memfana begana ni mbandala banko lutema.
But when you disembarked at the airport, were you officially received by the Ghanaian counterparts?
But bring al furata al fal jita kuluntila nyin kono fo
Kulutila
jidla do fo Ghana mansa kunda do kula mol fo yal bendun ne ba.
Yes, they did.
Ha yembentun jele.
Who?
Juma
Maybe I cannot remember who exactly, but I don't think the minister was there. But the Foreign Affairs Ministry staff were there.
Asiken hakilo tamuta la kende ke jumalo minister de Omanna bari minister bundala do kulalu membe Ghana ni mbandala banko lutema ulunatale.
Was there any incident at the airport?
o kusoro ndala menketa airport o kuluntila jila to jeba.
There was an incident, but it was at the Foreign Affairs Ministry.
Ku ketale de bari o keta minister bundala membe inim bantala banko lutema.
So that was the next day, was it?
O keta o samol la fo.
Yes.
Ah, o keta o samole.
Could you tell us about it?
Wese kuma fo no nyo ko ba menketa je o samo.
Yes, we went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Ndata minister bundala membe Ghana ni bantala banko lutema.
then the then minister, who is the current president,
wotumo memmu ila minister ti membe nim bantala banko lutema bitilo wala president ti Ghana banko kan.
When the minister spoke to him and they told him that we brought in 4 dead bodies.
Birin na minister dia mutate fana ye wotembo ay nyin kibaro dia la ko ngam mo tolle nati mentata kanyang hanfo mo nani nyong.
Then the Ghanaian foreign minister said they were not going to accept this 4 bodies.
Bitung Ghana la minister membe ni bantala banko lutema ay mem folo nyinte ko akoy telte wo moto nano lutala.
Why?
Muna yo sabu ayofo.
Yes, we were very confused too, because they said the government of the Gambia just told them that they have 2 Ghanaian bodies.
Akitandol fanale jakalol tile katu iteluko Gambia man sakunda memfoye wolem drong moto fula drone ne betelu bulu.
But how is that the case when in 2005 Gambia government had accepted that 8 Ghanaians were killed?
But sa oba keno la nyaade le 2005 sa kono Gambia man sakunda sonda ko Ghanaian banku din sey yole fa.
No, Gambia government, I believe, accepted that they found 8 bodies, but they did not ascertain that all the 8 are Ghanaian.
Gambia man sakunda ntila faham roto ye sontanyina lako fure sai wo sotontale bari memman saha wole nyindi ka foko foy be mu Ghana ko leti.
I do believe that the Gambia government had accepted that the 8 bodies that were found in near Ghana town were Ghanaians.
Lafta lala nyinela ko Gambia masakunda de isontale o fure se yo men jeta Ghana town dala isontale ko Ghanaian bank Ghana banko dingo moldan lafta lala wala.
Because that was my belief, because I did not understand the confusion why they saying 2 bodies. Then the minister said we have to go back with our 4 bodies.
Wala ketante fana jakaloti de ma faham kadu minister ko eteliye kibaro men soto wolem ko molu menu benala moto fula ibewolle natila amanke naniti so wala na minister fana ko ton tel ninna ningo moto lu menu nata je wo mo nanolo ni sai.
Were you personally in the meeting or was this reported to you?
Fayda fam kundingo be o bendula nyintelo bam fo ina na ko nyimbole yale banka foye.
We were all present.
Mbele be maberi.
And in the end, what happened?
There were negotiations, and they were insisting because the Ghana authorities said, how will they know that these are Ghanaians?
Ibe balandin ne de akwo meta diamo keta kato Ghana nkolu be balandin ne ko itelu balo no la nyadi le koto nyato nyanyili mu Ghana nkolete.
When there were 44 something, if I can remember, he said 44 families waiting for their bodies. So who are they going to give these bodies to?
Andu ning hakilo bakang Ghana nkolu itela karoko itele nyinki baro le soro ko fure tanani ni nani wolle nyi be Gambia jan so silang nyin tolu menu nata teng ibe odi la juma ni juma nyolle la.
No, they said 44 families are waiting for their remains.
Dimbaya lumembe baturola tatakanyan dimbaya tanani ni nani wolle bela molu batukan.
So if we bring in 4, who are they going to keep it?
Sai nita ni nani doron nata ibo dila juma nyolle la.
And if they are to do DNA tests, they have to do it overseas.
Aduning kotoboro be kala pour ka faham nyimari ni juma nyolle denta tubabul ka fameye DNA test wobita kala banko e bantalale.
So they were just making it difficult for the negotiators.
Bituode ye kolu nyilu koleandi le bake dia mo nyimbe ke kantu momen.
So we went back to our hotel.
Bitunu kola lon tel nata muru katanna hotel olto
without agreement.
Kambe mansoto.
And in the meantime, where were the remains?
We did not even see them. Maybe they took them to the mortuary or a safer place.
Meje de ntelmani je asake ye samba fure bungoto wala ye samba dinkirato isitanka dami.
From when you arrived at the airport, who took custody of the cargo?
Biring altara fal futa kuluntila jidlara jumale nyin kuluntila nyin na kolta.
Yeah, menu sam. You didn't see the body?
I did not see.
Akata majede.
In what kind of container did you guys put them?
You mol ni ye bula nyi mu fancy keran si fala kono.
I never see them.
Ntene meje.
Okay, all right. So what happened the next day?
Muna na ke osamu.
That very day, later in the day,
Atawlungo fongola nyato.
we received information that the Ghanaians have accepted the body.
Nata kibaro sotoko Ganankolu inata sonne pour kanyim fure toluta.
Because even during that time at the hotel, we were talking about organizing a coffin to return the remains.
Kato hanintel bedamen hotelo to tumo mbe kacha kampuru mbe kerawlu fere la nyaming pour kanyim fure ulu murundinang.
But in the end, what happened?
Nyala ba muna keta.
In the end, they accepted the body.
Kola bandula inata sonne pour ka wo moto luta.
And what happened next to the delegation?
Muna na ke luntangol nyin na koro.
Then we returned with the next available flight.
Between tel nata na senang kuluntila kotangol la men sotonda.
After how long?
Wati jeluto kola.
I think 2 days, the third day we came back.
Ngamira tilifula le mumbe ngole kije tilisabanjangon seitana.
But back to the main issue. You have made a serious allegation against very senior officers in government. Are you absolutely certain, absolutely sure that your purpose at Kairaba Station was to doctor diaries and that Yankuba Sonko and Ibrahim Jim Drame, among others, were present and supervised this activity?
Ilata nyinna ko ando asane ati ma ko al dalilo menti Kairaba police station to wala munyinti ko ka diary ta ka kuma kamul bondi diary ko to ka sawndi diary kutama nyinto annu woku ko nyimbe kala wato menna Yankuba Sonko honorable anin Ibrahim Jim Drame afana ibebe maberi njal ni modo ko tangul ibebe maberi njel iya wala fo bahani kabiyo.
Indeed, that's my testimony.
Wala mun nasede yarote.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I have no further questions for the witness.
Thank you, Counsel, and thank you, Mr. Hydara, for your testimony.
Yamanko inumbarabake Counsel inumbarabake Mr. Hydara ila said and rodo.
Before I turn to the commissioners, I have just one point that I want you to clarify.
Jannembe nyati na commissioner ning ayatara moy nyini karo soto ye fanna kilimbe mbulu jamme alon ko lafta yewol to sene yandinye.
Is it your testimony that at no point
nyina mwila said and rodo wati man soto
did you see any remains from Joshua, the airport, to Ghana, and subsequently when the cargo was handed over to the Ghanaians?
Kabo Joshua Njang kata fo airport of kata fali fudafa Ghana imang hani fure kilinje Ghana allo silol nyimbe kono imang nyama lo hani fure kilinkang.
Not forever, remains.
Remains, okay.
Just want to be sure that it was remains that you escorted them to Ghana and not a cargo of green mangoes.
Hada madingo bala toleng yolle ali wolle tambin ali samba Ghana bango amanke nyindi ko kune wolle men yalon ko du tolle beje du da jamba kerol.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Please go ahead.
Yes.
Then, yeah.
The only time I can say I saw the remains.
Sinya silo mente sa fono ko nganying mo tolu jele.
Was at the Joshua Cemetery.
Wolem Joshua mbade koto.
when the exhumation was happening,
wato me be ñim motolu findindi kan dinkolu kono
that's the time I arrived.
wato len te futata ji
So I saw them in a blue nylon bag before they are removed from the hole.
ngaje be nylon kayti koyolu be buluringolu kono jani be bondila dinkolu kono.
So I did not physically see their bodies or see how many remains were there.
Men ibala jatolu je adumma ajeno fanan ka fo jelle bijang.
So it was a plastic bags, blue plastic bag, sorry, that you had seen, not the remains.
Yes.
Even at Joshua Cemetery.
Ite mbuzu buluri ngo ite nyalo ta wala kan amanke nyindi ko hanaba dingo bala tol men tutalem hani Joshua na we bare ko.
Exactly.
Ha wolem.
And thank you. Commissioners, if you have any, yes, Commissioner Jones, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Jones le lafta ke nyini ngasedo.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Hydara, for your testimony.
Inumbarabake kiaman, inumbarabake sedo, ila seda ni road.
Regarding the exercise at Karaba Police Station, when you had to transcribe the names to another diary.
Kasujining do ko lale menge Karaba Police Station, wolenga kibaro bondi diary, koto nyindo ka soundi diary kutoro.
Were members of the task force themselves the ones who were doing the transfer? Did you identify other individuals to do that?
Yen kafo mol men tombon teng in task force fo itol fa le taraka nyinke bam fo itol fa nay mol le tombo bam men taraka nyidu go keba.
Yeah, there were young police officers assigned to assist, but some of the task force members also were doing it.
Ha ye police funding kewlu dumalankolu dolu tombol ne menu natam makoy bari task force fama nyin kono mo dolu fanale bije menu fana ye do koke.
Thank you for that. Now to the Joshua Cemetery regarding the exhumation of the bodies.
Silangata Joshua bade ko membe sujirinding wurdola menketa nyim bol molla frolla.
You have indicated that what you saw were what looked like bodies in blue nylon bags.
Ya itandi janko ye minyalo ta menga ite menje mulunde fele ko membe musu buluro nyin kono ko mul tollam hada badi ngo tollam.
Did the bags look relatively new to you, or did it look like things that have been buried for a long time?
Fo musol nyi nylon musol nyi biri nyalo ranka mulunde fele ko musu kutol dem bam fo mulunde fele ko musol le myalon ko ye ni badele ke baya mulunda la musol nyi bam.
You know, before the nylons decomposed to as I said, a bit dark.
Andun ko ngafunu nyame woto anim fitir wato le benta dibindingo be dunding.
But the nylons look intact.
Bari nylon lu nyilu be beteyari ne fembankela.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure how much you were able to see, but usually the graves do have tombstones. Did you see like any tombstones laying around, or do you believe this to have been unmarked graves?
Yalong nim bade oketa ekataman serolu ke bade ko lutole. Fo taman serolu soton taliban wala fodum woldodo man soto wato men ite futata ji.
I didn't see any mark exactly on that grave. But if you start, but if you stand facing the east, on your left, you can see the next grave was like decorated with a cement, rectangular cement tape.
Jede mam marke o marke je wala taman serje o kaburo luto bari ni misal kam maylo ta yenya tilin tilibola mara karola e kaje ko bade ko lumen bije yewlu be dadale ye cement block ye dada cementola ko e ka bade ko dolu dada nyamen.
Is it correct to assume that these bodies were exhumed from random graves of other individuals?
Fo mo sinyum fono le bang ko ye nyim furewlu wuri dinkol le kono ten drongo iteliye mennu tombong.
No, I didn't believe that.
Hani malla wala.
Can you please speak further on that? What you mean by you didn't believe that?
Isitenten yo to senayandi nyamuna na imalla ala wonya.
Yes, because I believe if they were going to tamper with other graves,
Lata la konata ibita kaburdo lumala.
The body or the remains wouldn't appear as it was.
Between ye menu wuri wonya ibenyamen to ite muluna wonya.
Because nobody will bury his family or grave or remains like in a blue nylon bag.
Kadu momon dinte kaf soton sonnante lajang katela fureo bade nylon kaitu buluri ngokono.
That still leaves a lot of questions unanswered, but I'll move on. You said there were about 10 people present at the cemetery upon your arrival. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just estimated, yes.
Okay, other than Mr. Jim Drame, did you recognize anyone else that was present, or do you remember anyone else that was present?
Mr. Jim Drame kola foi hakilo sa mutale mo dolu menuma beta je isi long wala hakilo si tolu muta.
I cannot remember, but maybe some of the members of the support team will be there.
Hakilo ma be muta de bari asekeno support team ni wala mako la ka fo molu dolu betar la jele.
Is that an assumption, seeing as you can't remember anyone?
Wodun ila miro da manno woti ba wairi ko hakilo te mo muta no la fo.
I cannot remember who among them were present.
Hakilo ta muta no la itel kono jumale bije.
Okay.
But I don't stay long there. I just went and received instructions. I left.
Katu mtema meje de birim futata je nake badi ya mutanye drong ntebota je ntata.
Okay, and my final question.
Nanyi ninkar labango.
Before leaving for Ghana, along with the other 3 dignitaries you traveled with, did you receive any briefing as to the purpose of your trip or what you were expected to do whilst in Ghana?
Very good question. Interesting. But that never happened.
And maybe just to ask a final one, did you have to do a debriefing upon your return back to Gambia?
Maybe individually to our respective institutions. I must brief my boss. I don't know the order.
Asekade molu kilinkilina lo menu tata be kilinkilina dia mutela nyaton ko lienne. Ye barinte de ninna nyaton ko dia mutale.
But there was none done collectively as a team either before or upon your return.
Bare amanke ko albesi tanyo kandula kilinka kacha janalieta anim fanang almururi ngonim fanang fanang alimambeng purkasi ka o kacha fasonke.
No, never.
Hani wonene manke.
Okay, thank you very much.
Akoy numbara.
And you wouldn't know if the Minister of Health who led the delegation briefed the President, Jame.
For andu itabola nyin kala mafananko Minister me matajara kende ala alnim men tata nyola for asekeno le atafanang nari ngo adiamuta ya Jame for isi ku kala muta otoban.
I wouldn't know that.
Hani teolon na mawolong.
Thank you.
Deputy
Chair, you have the floor.
Chair, Sirantio Nolanko Kenyaninka.
Thank you, Chair.
Inumbara, Chair.
Thank you, Esa. Thank you, witness.
Ako Inumbara Council Esa. Ako Sedo Fanang Inumbara.
I don't know if the Honorable Minister did brief the President.
Malum for Honorable Minister Kachata President way.
But I know for a fact that she was present at the exhumations.
Baringalong ko amabetale wo dinkasingoto be frewlu bondila tumome.
Because it was on public television.
Kato afindita Gambia television otole.
Now coming to my questions.
Barikana nanyininka rolla.
This is really in connection with institutional reforms.
Nyimbeden din kuolle la menu nyanta kala falingoti men nyanta kala doku bundalla.
How would you describe what you were teaching those junior officers that you asked to, how do you call it, to falsify the books?
Albewo funding ke olu karandi kamunela. Aliko meni ya lonko ye falindiro ke safero lula meni ya lonko wolebe wo diary olu bala wo buko olu bala. Alibe karandi kamunela.
Very unfortunate situation.
Aketa koma saibality.
Unprofessional, unethical.
Anin sarto manta, anin doko no fana manta, anin doko la lanyalu fana manta.
Even the young officers will know that.
Hani wo funding ke doku la lu fangulu yewolone.
It's just unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened.
Aketa kukeja woti dorong amanyankela numfereng.
So in a sense, what you were doing was corrupting these young officers.
Woto mosafo ko albemen ke kan wala munyim funding ke ulu ke dundina karoto ke bulad na karidoku wala.
Whom you should have trained.
Alinyanta menu karandila nun.
As you have said in your own words, to be ethical.
Ko ite fama ya fela kuma kan to nyamen ka tiling do ko la karola.
And moral.
Anin ka hakili nyimma dundi do ko to.
In the execution of their duties.
Ni be do ko do ku kela.
And looking at the roll call of the people that were on that support team,
these
were senior people who were responsible for stopping criminal activity in the country. Yet you were engaged in massive falsification of evidence.
Bari inatamuneke ye dabula tapale ya kule to meya lonko sede sotoringo membe kering inatawole taka yelemandi ka tilimbali ya kije ka ke tapale kuoti kaulu filindi,
which was designed not only to mislead the Gambian people,
meya lonko ya kenyele kama amanke nyindammanti de ka Gambian kolu filindi de,
but important strategic partners like ECOWAS and the and was it the United Nations or the EU?
Bari amanka Gambia dammanti de bari kan kafunyolu ndenyo malu menu keta Gambia fe banku kuma baluti anin kafu kuma balu ko menu beko United Nations anin ECOWAS kawulu fanalu filindi.
What do you have to say to that, Mr.
Hydara? Mr. Hydara.
Yeah, as I said, it's just unfortunate. You know, as you said, I agree with you totally.
Thank you.
It should not have happened, and we have no choice at the time. The only choice I have was just to withdraw and resign.
Andu ntesi silo mentanu wala mnyinti drong ka tamandi wala kandaboji.
But there must be somebody also to witness such things, so that such a day that we should be able to witness this and narrate it.
Yo bar bidung fanang anyinyatale mo yetaraje yemabe akwokono katu mo sinyi mira ko nyinyol lungulu te bayela lummen sayin kandirobe kela ko membe ko binyol lungo.
Imam C, you have the floor.
Imam C lafte nyinin kala.
Jërëjëf Hydara.
Ko numbara Hydara.
Sa CDA bu set.
You're welcome.
La CDA kendo kang.
Man li ma lay laaj mooy yéen avion bi ngeen demoon.
What I'm asking you about is the plane that took you to Ghana.
Nga ne comme cargo la pak kese la.
You said that it was just like a cargo plane.
Léegi yéen ak néew yi yéen a nekkoon benn place.
Were you seated in the same area or in the same place on board the plane with those remains?
Not exactly.
Nekkuñ ci benn place bi de ci biir plane bi.
Ci biir plane bi itam gisuloo néew yi seetuloo leen foofu itam. gisoo leen buñ koy dugal wala buñ koy génnee wala gisuloo ci dara ci biir plane bi.
On board the plane, also, didn't you see any of these remains or whatever, where you just sat down there and you were not able to see any of these remains on board the plane?
No, when it is being taken on board, I did not see.
Benko dugal si plane bi gisuma.
And I cannot remember seeing the bodies whilst I was seated inside. I cannot remember exactly. It's possible, but I cannot remember.
Munuma fatale ko pour wax ne gis naa niw yi biñ nekkee ci biir plane bi xëy na mun naa am waaye daal suma xel jëlu ko munuma ko fatale ko.
Jërëjëf.
Thank you.
Do you know if the boxes containing the remains were put in a cargo bay or in the cargo bay of this plane?
Fo hakilo sa mutako wo motolu be kunewlu menu kono walla be kerangolu menu kono yeke kuluntila la duni sambaran dinkirale to bang.
No, we didn't know. I didn't know.
Hani motolu fure tolu men ya lon ko ye sambaten idundi nya isambanya ila ko kalanta nyonya ndi nyama mam femfel lonje.
Nothing look organized during the process.
Akobe tamandi wato fem manke kuti men tembeta je wala men mo safo no nyinketa nyamale.
Thank you. Bishop, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman.
Commissioner Odiko, welcome in.
Mr. Aziz
Hydara.
Mr. Aziz Hydara.
Sedo.
Do you know what happened to the old diaries?
No, I did not.
Hani malonde. According to?
I did not get, there was a...
No, I did not know about it. Maybe the police should be able to say or something about that.
Mam fem longa kuoto bari asekeno police lusi kuma fono wotole.
Now, concerning the remains that were exhumed from the Joshua Cemetery,
sinan kasujinin nying bala yemol men wuri itol nying Joshua na bade koro.
Which of the cemeteries were they exhumed from?
Ye bade ko jumale to.
Nan ye wuri bade ko
jumale to.
You know, when going to Banjul,
Nibita kam Banjul
on the right,
Buluba Karola,
just opposite the road to TK Motor.
Silo men tata TK Motors was silo fango anyatili nyala je ay Karadola.
So when you then right going to the cemetery,
ni sota Buluba Karola kay tilim bade kola.
The main entrance to the cemetery.
Bunda ba mem fonketa bade kola bunda ba fangoti.
Yes, you go straight inside.
Ye ikadun jele ye tilin la kata konoto.
So that's the place. I don't know exactly the position. I may not be able to remember, but that's the place.
Bari aketa wala nyama hakilo tabe mutono la de andun ka sute ko jannin jannen hani bari ko nga fote nyamin o dinkira abe nyale.
No, there are two cemeteries in Joshua.
Yalong bade ko fula wala be Joshua.
You have the Muslim cemetery and you have the Christian cemetery.
Yala ye muslim la bade ko soto la anu yena na Christian ol fana na bade ko soto.
So which of these two cemeteries were the bodies exhumed from?
Sila nyim bade ko fulol nyinyi ye bade ko jumala nyim fulol wurita damendo.
I don't know the difference, the separation there. I'm not familiar with that one. Which one is the Christian one and the Muslim?
Koto de man koy mabake Christian lim muslim la bade ko lu menti mango fa ambake. Bari sedo fana nyinin karo ke fo. Christian la bade ko minto ma fanete ani muslim la bade ko be minto ma fanne.
Well, the Muslim one is the one immediately as you turn into the road, and it's on your left-hand side.
Muslim molta wala ni tourner da don kasilo nyimuta abe mara karol.
And the Christian one is further down.
Ni bota Muslim tato ikatambi eta Christian tato abenyato.
So they are all in the same fence, you mean?
So amunta bebe sansan kilimule kono.
No, there is a demarcation.
Ani bantambilo betemale. Ane betemale.
I may not know anyway.
Asekante o fahamunola.
Thank you. Commissioner Carr, followed by Commissioner Kinte, followed by Imam Jallo.
Commissioner Carr, wala fana lafti inyininkala, sedo.
Thank you, Chairman.
Kai inimbara kiaman.
Thank you, Mr. Hydara, for your testimony.
Inimbara, Mr. Hydara, ila sedandiro fana.
What I want to know is, how did the negotiations with the Ghana government end?
Sila nte lafta kamello wala nyinti ko kachanyin labanta nyadi le ning Ghana mansakunda temo.
First of all, I congratulate you for your graduation.
Follow mbe konton na ila karango bango me yake yamakama take.
Thank you.
The Ghanaian negotiation they end up accepting the body.
Kachanyin kita nyamin Ghana ila banta sonna le ye motolu nyilita.
Who gave you the negotiation points from the Gambian side?
Gambia la fanna la jumale silul tandala pour kachanyin albelala nyame.
No, you know, the issue just happened on the ground, and, you know, they were talking to them to accept the body. That was all. They just rejected the bodies, and the Gambian side was trying to convince them to take the bodies.
Akatanya men wala mdoron dia mole katanya karafulo tema. Kadu Ghana nkolu itelu balanta le ko fulo dulato. Yo barbitu na Gambia karo fanan imbol fanaluman ko tutu la wonya e kantinete le kadiamu inin Ghana nkolu diamo kono kacha kono birin kota ta fameta utumo le Ghana nkolu nata song pour kanyim moto luta.
The incident and the negotiation just happened automatically.
Kwenye mfano ketanya min ani lao si kakacha abebula tanyono male doa ketale ko akeke tanyono nyame.
And what do you have to tell the victims about your role in the cover-up?
Silang ite muna sarabe man fola molla men dunda in kolea kono ila molla ite be ite baro men keje pour ka konyinta ka mabo ite muna sarabe men fola.
Regrettable indeed.
Akata nimisoti
to be part of such efforts or
pour katara ñiñon ku façon lu kono ñin kebara façon
but we decided to continue and stay and witness it also.
Bari msonta pour ka continuer pour une sikolu CDA.
Because my withdrawal at the time wouldn't make any difference.
Kato tembo hanninta nganda boje num fanan wote ko kundi mfalin laje.
But today it can make difference by saying the truth.
Bari bi imaje ay kolu falin katu wolem nyinti ka lo kato nyafo mbeto nyamem fo kanteng we kolu falin de.
Because at the time the only thing I can do was to resign or withdraw from it.
Katu tembo nsimen keno dron wala mnganna palaso sayindi ngam fanyo do kola wala nganda bondi ko nyim fango mu mekono bari manna okay.
But taking into consideration the Ministry of Interior,
bari niye kolu be kono jube minister bunda me marta banko kan kunyalula.
The Inspector General of Police, the Director General of NIA,
police la kuntonko NIA la kuntonko,
we are all aware of such an exercise.
Wulu bebota kalamale membe ke kanu.
So even if I withdraw, wouldn't stop the thing happening.
Boto handinte nganda bondi je num wote kolu bayila de.
So I think I made a decision to witness this and see the end of it.
Wala nga kangota ko mbe continue le ngin ko no masata hanfo ngadandulaje.
But I would like to apologize if my actions or my things have in any way done anything wrong. I would have to apologize to all the victims.
Bari nake baro kang mbe bolo sayo nyininna molu bulu men ya lon ko wolleketa molu ti mantoro lata men kan walla ibadi ngolu ning ayatara misal kama ngamen ke ka son katara ko nyin kono na tata ke ko kundinti men keta ku ke baloti woto mbe yam fo danila.
Thank you. My final question is, how do you prevent something like this from happening again? That is one of our key mandates.
Ita ba keno na nyare ko nyinku jaw sifa nyong a nyon kana ke kotanke wala mun tolla do ko kono kilindi abe kono surtout na sando nyi.
Very good.
Abetata.
I think we should be ready to produce good leaders.
Namira nyantam parelale pour ka nyaton ka kendolu nyinin.
And build strong institutions.
Madoku bunda kendolu londi.
There should be rules and regulations that should be able to guide and protect the leaders.
Sartolu nyantatar la kerinne men mutarambuloluti men yalon ko nyaton ko lube ko kundin kela ibe bulala wo sartol le noma menu be ko lubule nyoto.
The fate of the leaders should not rest in one man's hand.
Amunta na nyaton kolu amunta la ko Kenya manya natar la mo kilingo bulokono.
If the leader fears his employer, then he dance to his tune.
Ning nyaton ko silata mola mayata do kola awota bewle la kan tamandila.
If the president is a dictator, then all the institutional leaders will be dictators.
Nim president keta tajire nyaton koti woto do ku bunda nyaton ko lu fanale betalla wasila kilingole kan.
He is going to enforce the same rules on his subordinates.
Kato abeo kan kilingole tamandila wo molu kan puriye bara atela kumaka ngulula men yalon koy batele koto do kola.
We should educate and train our staff very well.
Nyantan na do kulalu karandila le nge fahamundi kende ke yalon memba kering.
Thank you very much for your testimony and thanks for answering my questions.
Numbara bake la seda ndiro to andungi numbara baka fana mpure na nyini karol jabi nyame.
You have the floor.
Commissioner Kinti la bine nyini kala silansedo.
Assalamu alaikum.
Koy assalamu alaikum ay konton.
Wa alaikum salam.
Aziz me konton na bake.
Aziz, I greet you.
Me na nyinin ka diam follow bita Mustafa la kumole jansaka.
Well, what I'm going to say is going to be an addition to what Mustafa has said.
Nga kala muta ko Gambia mansakunda dollar wuli kemelulu di Ghana mansakundala.
We understand that the Gambia government gave $500,000 to the Ghana government. Is it 1,000 or million?
No, well, I don't know. 500,000.
500,000 US dollars.
500,000 US dollars. Dollar wuli kemelulu.
Lafte menyinin kala wala mo fo alni o kodo tata comme hana fongonta aw jarama barana kayto tata nyola bang waram biring diamul be balandi nyoy be kontindi wato len kodo nyal walinje pour ka Ghana mansakunda mane ne sabarola o fomum koy fellon.
Well, I don't know whether you are aware. Did you go along with that money, even if it is going to be in cash or it is going to be in a check form? Did you go along with that money, or was it afterwards, during the negotiations, was this money sent to you in Ghana? Whether you know anything about it?
I did not know anything about that money. I think I heard about that after our visit. You see, our district, it was not organized. As Commissioner Jones has asked, before we went, there was no briefing and there was no debriefing too.
Ko Commissioner Jones ya nyinin ka nyami mbitatu momenna imanteli kachandi femfenna adum birin seytanam fanan anyon kacha fanan manke.
We did not meet as a team or as a delegation and organize ourselves and know the essence of our mission. We didn't even know.
Katu bring hani janinga ta kafonga beng kafo molu nga nyo fahamundi kanna silo dalilo ye kacha ka kubo nyoto wo fango manke ndel fango amunta ndel finginde ma letata
yo na nyinin karo bunda bedame fangoto.
The main reason of the main part of my question is
when bring in UN house.
When these visitors were at the UN house,
equal to bed and down la manjam for fankanta kamani sulata alla makoiro la dame bao yalto londi wala kam purka bulumuto kan makoiro.
You said you were moving around there in the corridors and in some rooms downstairs. You were there near them so that whatever they need, or if they need you, or if they want you people to facilitate something for them, they can call upon you.
Indeed.
Yeah, left in karo kela sinya jelle nyunial ki altul ki kaytolu kamma pura o kaytolu nyanda sene andiro kelalie ni o ke jumalle dabula tawoto.
What I want to ask about is, how many times did these people send you to get them documents that will show them something, and if that has taken place, who were also involved in producing or working on those documents with these visitors?
To answer your question, I was not aware of any request, personally.
Kaboyo kela nyininkaro jabi. Nyilu ka foye fenkanin tolu bulu mambwa hana kilingo kalama.
What I do believe
Nilata menna me asekeko
is they have a contact person among the group.
Aseke ye mosoton te lakafo kono inimenka nyomoi.
Who they will contact whenever they need anything.
Aseke ikaw marile kumandi na idea muni sulata femfenna.
And this could be one of my seniors in the group.
Adunyi seke no mo kilintin tel kafo mo kono meni alonko wolle mun to lakke baluti.
Because witnesses are provided.
Katu ka sedo lubondi
going for them.
Me kamenu sambe kang
without us going for the witnesses.
Adu ibukahanin to luki purunga tao sedo lunoma.
And if they have requested for any diaries and diaries are produced, I'm not aware too.
Adu natara ye nyinkanin purka diary oluje. Andu misali kama inatao diary olusamba nyiliyenne. Ha, wotonte kumo mambo akalama.
Or maybe they have been contacting the police directly and the police are producing the police, because most of the witnesses are police officers. So they are producing the police without our consent.
As a keno fanang, itele nim police le kanyo moi ikantelu tuje. Katu sedol jamabijol mu police leti. Woto as a keno niwole police le kanyo moi itele sulata menna woluka adito labari ibkantel dabula je mambo akalama.
Menti jakal wala muni ko yal tolle londi yalla do ko be albonda alla do ko daldo o do ko dalbe kumare etela lodula as head of investigation at NIA and mo ko tangolu albe nasi albe yuru yara la UN house dandangola min kammo ko al nyanta min ma ko la fengol le kayto karin sulata ayna mo karin sulata ayna ol be kana tol buka fenkala mutaje o jakal be war.
This is really amazing. To remove you people from your jobs, from your offices, so that you can go and be contact persons for these investigators. They take you to the UN house, and now you people are just there loitering like that. In case, if the reason for your being there was, if they need any document, they will request it from you. If they want to see any witness, they will ask you people to go and bring that witness. But you just stayed there like that, without anything like that happening. Well, that's really amazing.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Kinte.
Ode aketawale nyama to nyabari inu barabake Mr. Kinte.
You know, I will tell you one thing. There was no need for even that support team.
Mbekuma kilim fole. Haninte lukafo molu menu yen tombong. Amang jari amang asulo mantar kering. Amanyana kelanu.
I haven't seen any necessity for such a team.
Katun taman dalila wo dalila je pour ka wo kafu façon londi.
The investigators will need witnesses.
Kisi lalu menu nata ebe sola la sedo lulale.
If the witnesses are police officers, the police command can produce this for them.
Ning ayatala wo sedo lu dumu police leti. Police lu kunton ko lu sio sedo lu bondi no le kadi ni ka futandi ni luntanguluma.
And if these are diaries, they can bring the diaries for them, or the team can even go to the various police stations to see the diaries themselves.
Adunia ayatala isulata diary olela. Wo kaito lu kolu ka safe menu bala police korda luto. Police lu nyanda wo diary oleta ka samba ni luntanguli wala luntangulu fang lu kisi lalu ye wuli ye ta police station luto ka wo diary lu kaning ya itandila je.
I don't see the need for the group.
Man dalila wo dalila je ye nyin ka fo lundi men kamma.
If I was the Director General of NIA at the time, I wouldn't send my staff there.
Nintela mu kuntioti no NIA Director General ntena do kulalu fon kilaje.
To nyale mtenga menje wala mnyende ko nafa bala le nafa membala wala ntapale ko men ibato non puru aliaje ko alkaje ko nyunu nyanta dawda falinna ya be falin kula tembeta wo jorango be larim aparere mo wala atine allonde nyindo kay o momol nyama sansang di rolte doron kata yuru yaraje.
Yeah, just being there was just for you people to be around there just like that. But the reason for forming that support team also is they wanted you to falsify those documents, those diaries. That was their main reason. So that is good to them, so that they can cover up themselves. The reason for you being there is to do that job for them, so that when these investigators come, they will be able to show them something which will not contain anything that deals with these migrants.
I agree with you.
Nsontela kumola.
Na nyinen kadra lama wala bekela nyinte ko bara diary falingo.
What I want to ask also is about the exchange of the diary at Bara.
Wala nyato ko jawara ay meitandi ako imanta benta ko official menu fongole safero ke ibebe barale.
Because the diary that their OC produced, and when he was saying that he said they were fortunate that the police officers who were working at the Bara station, who made those entries in the diary, were still available to them at the station there. So those people were assigned to do this transformation.
Comme misal fi menu be arjuma lungoto.
Just like example, those who were working on Friday, when they are writing, the writing of those diaries or the transfer of whatever from one diary to the other, when Friday came, they decided to bring in people who did that job on Friday.
Momo biye damen safe yese wasifa kangya bari asatara ganan kol yewla ko bondi jele yenyin kudol safe ya sign.
So it happened like that. Those who made those entries in those diaries, they were made to do writings or entries about other things and just decide to forget or to jump anything that deals with these Ghanaian migrants, so that that information will not be in the diary. Anything that concerns the Ghanaians will not be in the diary.
New bundamu nga kumandi nya soto wala le sa kumandi falsification la bar natara mammel long wala minti kaira ba men keta je fo ya kel doron ko junior officer ye tombo no dawda wara men be kaira ba ye wolda maka fu nyome ke ma koy nyim falindirol yalo ni wo sotota o mulu ala bunda dole de me alon ko men falsification man killing impersonation or whatever manu foi alweji aliake nyadi la albulo benda momo fe wala kana ay bunda nyin safe ay assign alie satara manke amari fawti me safer follow keno.
What happened at the Bara station was that those who made the entries, previous entries, were the same people who were called upon to come and do these new entries again, because they were the people who did the previous job. So, but as for Kairaba, what we can say is the falsification, because they just took randomly from police officers who are stationed there at that time to come and help in the falsification of these diaries that they wrote that your task force was involved in at the Kairaba station. So that we can call that falsification.
No. What I said is I am afraid that they did not use people randomly who did this. In that case, in addition to falsification, they were impersonating.
Okay, yeah. Amunda wala mindiko ibe menke kandro.
Before ça fait comme mol toya.
Mol toya la manke ko menu make num.
Ika sign.
Ya family.
I understand.
Okay, I understand.
That did not happen in our case. What happened in Bara?
O manke ntella karola de manke ta bara o manke ntolla karola.
And it doesn't. Even members of the task force were not working at the. The support team. We are not staff of the charge office or the police station, but they were also writing in the diary.
Ya gente la kafo mulu kono fanga. Imantara charge office nunde imamboje. But hanolu fangolu ya safero lu kala wa diary lu bala.
Yo na nyinin kar la bon Hydara haketu nyinin karol siate bulata nyono.
Sorry Hydara, I asked many questions, but the last one now is
nyinin kar la bon nyin.
My last question.
Ali nyin dindi mal menu bula nyin do ko la mobe kono bangite sa fo nyeno ngakala muta ko bintu keta benu nga konole o Umar Dabo benu nga konole o sifa ntenga o mari lonne ya mere simma ko no woto sifalto junior officers because ya la team mol for them all.
You have already named members of the task force. Those names are available to us. But the junior officers who were selected to come and help you in the rewriting of those diaries, I don't know whether you can be able to recall a name or any one of those people so that you can give us that name so that we will know who was involved in that job that happened at the Kairaba station. I don't know whether you can help us with that, if you can remember even a single person among them.
No, I could not. But the police should be able to help. You know, it is important the truth is told. So I just want to appeal to them, Malamin Sise and anybody in this team. I have no reasons.
Dalila tentebulu purkana jang.
You know, and say such a thing when it did not exist. It did not happen.
Dalila tentebulu purkana si jang kakumalu fo men ya lonko imanke. Ntete okela wo manke dalila ti men be mtebulu.
So they may be able to remember. I'm not sure, but they should be able to know these police officers because they would not call any police officer to do such a thing without having trust in the person.
Woto itelbano lale e wala itel sinyin keno le ke hakilo bulandi jumanyolu iteleolu menu tombo wonya kana o mako irola katumbela lale ko itelbe menu tombo na purka na o safero ke be kala molleti itelu jikita menna ilata menula ko nyilisi kullo maranole wala na yewlu tombo puruli na o safero ke nalo itelu I hakilo si bulano molu lale menu tombo menu na ta o baddo ko ke
because that is my belief
ntela ta wole lade.
They cannot go out and pick any police officer in the street to come and falsify those things.
Malala si hanyi nyina ye finti drong ka police tombon silo kang pour ka ulunati kana ulubula wo safer façon la wonya men ke tapale saferoti malala si hanyi wala ibe molle tala ye menulo.
It will be a police officer they believe in, they have trust in him to do such an exercise.
Abekela police leti itelie men long ijikita menna ilata menna men sina wodo ku façon ke toli.
So I will not be asked a question about such a thing and lie about it on the oath. I wouldn't do that.
Motente nyinin kala kula nyin ko kono men sike kuoti men denta nyina ngana fania fo ko kono nte okela katu ngankalile ngata wota wala nambe nyin kumofola.
I know many people have hold the Holy Quran and the Bible and said they are on the oath, they will say the truth. But they are still omitting some of these things.
Ngalon ne molu soton tale. Doli Bible ol muta. Doli Al Quran Al Karim muta. Ya foko mbeto nyale fola. Bari ka sawundin kira dolu la le buka songolu fola.
So I'm just appealing that let's say the truth and let it happen and so that it will never happen again as the slogan of the TRRC. That is my opinion.
Bari mbe wasila mbe daniro kela. Alinga kata nga tonya fo nga tonya sabatindi menketa nga wosata nga tilingo nin tonya tamandi ko nyin kamala TRRC fangla sando momenti never again anyongo nene kanake isaje nsifuta no wolodu lato nga wosabatindi.
Yo Aziz baraka bake.
Thank you very much Aziz.
Imam Jallo, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Imam Jallo lafti nyinin kara sedo.
Witness.
Okay.
Kay sedo.
Yes, please.
My question is going to hinge on your conclusion.
Ntela nyinin karo nyimbita sabodla ila kumuda fadulal bandulal.
As you are aware,
ya kala muda nyameng.
Many senior officers above you and within your same ranks came to this commission.
Yalo nyameng mol la mialon ko makamo la karola be nyato ani mol mialon ko ni be makama kilin inata sedando di commission nyati no la.
They took the oaths.
Ye kali.
They will not tell lies.
It has
been proven that many of them told lots of lies. Our major concern now is that this never happened slogan should be upheld.
And
my fear is many of these people are still in the services of the Gambia government. Do you think we can genuinely get policies that will ensure that never again theory is upheld and is the truth? How can this be attained?
Okay, I thought you said in my conclusion. Okay.
Ako ila kumo kumfadulato isa isiyo kumakangulu ya maro DJ.
I will put it in the conclusion.
Bakala ala kachako.
Okay, fine. Before you take the floor to make your final remarks, you had said that when the task force finished its work, as it were, you were all gathered in a meeting where you were showered with congratulations and the praises. You said it would seem that two of the members of the task force were promoted.
Andung iko amulunte fele fang mofula be task force nyin kono moyalon ko o ko nyin kere ngo kola ida makamul la fale.
Were you promoted yourself?
Ida fang kunni ngo ida makamu ya la fale ba.
No.
Hani?
Okay. You may now proceed to make your final remarks.
Bere ara sila insitenten no yela kumakang labang fo bele kumo da soro na menna.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the chairman and all commissioners.
Mbenyi silo tala follow ka chairman numbara atening commissioner lumembe bijang.
Hello?
Tulo bela.
Oh my God.
Mbe moy kanede itela bukantol moy.
Okay, yeah, sure, Natale.
Ayo, okay. Tenteng.
I say I would like to take this opportunity to thank the chairman and all the commissioners.
Mbela fila kanyin silota ka chairman numbara ka jay atening commissioner lube.
And the lead counsel and his team.
Lead counsel nala kafo molu.
All the interpreters.
Kana sor lalu.
and all staff of the TRRC.
Anin do kulalu menu bebe TRRC.
I would like to start with the question from Commissioner Imam Jallo.
Mbela fila ka fulo damen menketa Commissioner Imam Jallo la kumakangoluti.
You know, to be able to achieve the slogan "Never Again."
Purunyi silo nyin kamala ka foko anyongo nene kanake nse mune keno hanfo ngawo sabatinda ay sulo dung nyimbanko kan.
We have to get the loyal and committed leaders.
Fonga kata nga nyato nkolu soto menu tilinta iwakilita isaita.
You know, the leaders should have dignity, integrity, and loyalty.
Wonyato nkolu fanalu inyanta bunyani horomo anin tilingo menketa sonde me tilingo ti nyanta soto lale ifangula miro kono.
And as Imam Jallo has just said, there are people who are still in the system.
Ko Imam Jallo ya fanya men hanimbi molu be kering ni mansakunda doku bundalula.
You know, we should be fair to ourselves.
Nyantale ngakata ngatili mfangulu fe.
You know, a perpetrator cannot be a leader of a reform process.
Menketa tajire uta kuruya kulu kenung. Wote kela falingo do ko nyato nkota ate keno lati.
The person himself should be fair to himself for the love of his country and leave the assignment.
Ate Mario fango menya lonko atele na takenu tajire oti. Awoto ate fana nyanta katalele ay tiling afamfe ala banko kano kang aya da bondiji.
So I think there should be this political will also to be able to achieve that process.
Adunga mira a politiko nganiyo ana hammo wonyanta tarla ulufana linyanta tarla kerinne purunga silota me yalon ko lebe mfutandila wodinkirato.
And be able to put in good laws and guidance to be able to protect and all staff of the civil service.
Andung lualu, sartolu, tarambulolu, wolu be kendema lenyanta lola me yalon ko ning tata wasilo la tilingu nintonya sitama doku bundalla nimmenu la makamo wala palaso nyanta la fala tilingu nintonya kan abeye tama okang.
But instead what I have been seeing is
bari ntoka menje num wala mnyinti
everybody wants to protect himself.
Mobe lefta afan kantala ka fantankandi
to the detriment of the country.
Me yalon ko obekela banko obekela kujawleti banko ye.
Like I have seen in most of the testimonies,
kadunga je CDR jama kono jang.
People were emphasizing, you know, the torture attitude, the human rights violations at the NIA.
Molu be nyin kidimandi kan ila dia molu kono menu keta tajire yati ka molu bala jatolu dimindi ani muhadama ya nyanta tinyalu men ya lonko iketa nun NIA.
So they forget the other institutions.
Inyina tado ku bunda dolula.
You know, and they say it's the modus operandi of the NIA.
Ye nyim foko wala keta kolu tamandi nyati kolu samba nyati NIA.
And I want to tell this commission.
Adul lafta nying fala nying commission yenko.
I have been working since 27 years at the NIA now.
Sanji muani ngoro ulanga wale do ko ke NIA.
And out of these 27 years, I spent almost 24 years at the headquarters in Banjul.
Ado sanji muani ngoro ulo kono. Sanji muani nano be ngabe ke NIA la korda bale kono Banjul sate kono.
So I know the place very well.
Woto ngaw dinkira lonne kendeke.
So I would not deny the fact. the place has been used for torture and human rights violations.
Ntenyin soso la freng ka foko o dinkira ye jeke dinkira le tunun ika molu tajire ya damin ika molu la nyanto lu tinya damin.
And I've seen people say in the testimonies that 90% of the NIA staff are torturers.
Adungaje fam molu ye nyim fajanko do kulalu men bebe NIA niya be kemeti sidula tankonon to be mu tajire wolleti.
And I would not agree to that.
Nte sonna wala.
There are few people, you know, who are maybe less than 15 or 20% are torturers.
Andu ni ajube wo do kulalu kono membitala hanu fo keme wo keme sidula tanilulu wala sidula muang wolu man ka tajire wolti.
No, those are the torturers.
Wallem sari alhakatu wallem tajire woluti keme wo keme sidula tanilulu kata sidula muango kang wolle ka tilimbali yalu ke molla wallem tajire woluti.
Most of the torturers or the torturers will come from other institutions and use the NIA premises for torture.
Mojama ikabo bonda dolela kabo do kubunda kotangulula meni alon ko kana NIA ikana nyin tajiriya lu kije ikabona bari dama be kono ikabona bantale de.
I will give you this scenario. This is like a circle, you know, the activities of the security institutions in achieving this.
Nyimukulet me yalon ko mbala nya itandila katu kule mnyinti me yalon ko akamurumuru ne kanto nintankada bunda lutema.
Like the military will arrest people and detain them at mile 2.
Ko sojar bundala isimolu muta yete sindi mile 2 kasola.
And in the night they will pick them and take them to the NIA premises and torture them.
Suto la mikatao molu kama mile 2 yenati NIA sansango kono ibe tajire ya menkele la je ya kela je.
Equally, the NIA will arrest some people and detain them at various police stations.
Andung NIA fanglu fanang ika modolu mutale niye mutaitawlu sindi police station doluto.
And the police authorities or the police officers will be rotating these people from one station to the other to hide them from their families incommunicado.
Adum polisol fanale kana muneke ika nyummo mutaringulu mutale ke sounding ke bondi janke sambajana puru nyin kammala ibadi ngulu fanglu kana lon nyim na badin kari ya muta abe mintole wulu bakaw fanglu londo soto no.
And the police also will sometimes arrest people
andul tumodolu
and detain them at mile 2 without warrant.
Andum polisol fanglu tumodolu kamolu mutale yetaye sindi mile 2 adu ibukahani kaiti samba kafo nyino mutaran kaito ti kafo meyo warrant.
And the military again will take these police detainees from mile 2 and bring them to NIA and beat them.
Andung o sojarul koteke wolle kata o mo mutaringulum bondi mile 2 kenati NIA sansango kono kana ke tajire yaji.
So who is innocent of this torture?
Woto sa injumale seneyata wo tajire yakono.
And after all this, confessions will be made.
Andu no bebotala ikana molu diamundi kafo kolula.
So if confessions are made, statements are taken by the same police.
Niwo kumakan lu fota adu kumakan tatalu menu ya lonko molu yafo polisol le fanglu kana kumakan lu ta.
And these statements will be recorded by police at the NIA premises.
Adu kumakan lu polisol fanglu kawlu ta ke safe NIA la sansango le kono.
And these statements will be taken to the Attorney General's Chamber's prosecution unit or the police prosecution unit for possible prosecution.
Adu wo kumakan lu ni eta mnyimolu bulu NIA ike samba kiti bunda lela wala police la kiti ndirlalu puru isiwo molu meni yemuta isi kiti ndiwo kumakan la menuta NIA.
The Attorney General's Chambers and the police prosecution unit knowing very well that these people's statements were taken under duress.
adung attorney general la office fango anim police bunda la kitindir bunda ifanglu be kalon ne ko nyin kuma kanglu menu safeta tembe nyil kitindi la nyin kanglu menu la ye forcé tota e mariolu bulule.
And it wouldn't stop there.
Andunga bukadang woto.
So this case file will be taken to the judiciary for prosecution.
Adu kanao kiti file leta ka samba kitindir bundala puribe molu kitindila menna.
And a judge will be selected, a favorite judge will be selected.
Andu ifangon leke fansung kitindirla nyala tombong ete lafta menna puru yo kitota.
And this judge will sentence these people to anyhow he likes.
Adu yo menta kitola onya kitindirla ate mari men diata e yirko men diata be nyimolu soro na o yirko lela.
Knowing very well that the victims' rights have been violated.
Andu telefon lo katarle yalo ne ko nyi membe nyi ndia mo kono ten yala nyanto le tinya.
So that is why I say we should all come out and say the truth. Everybody is involved in this process.
Wala nan ko mobe finti ye na ye to nyafo katu mobe le dabe ko nyin kono.
So I would like to appeal to everybody to cooperate with the TRRC and say the truth and nothing but the truth.
Wotombe mobe danila inin TRRC ye nyomoyi ye nina ta ye to nyafo adu kana femfem faja memmanke to nyati.
And I haven't seen any achievement by any other security service for institutional reform at the moment, apart from the NIA.
Namanke NIA ti de nyin tembe man kanto nin tankada falinje do ku bunda wo do ku bunda la nyim banko kan follow.
Because I have seen the NIA, which was used to be called the almighty NIA or the notorious NIA.
Kadu ngajele NIA la bunda follow me ka foko bunda sembe maba membe keri nung wala bunda tobo rinjawo me yalon ko tobo jawo be kunto NIA la karola wotumo ngawjele nung.
Has now become the most tolerant and professional institution or service now.
Bari sayin je falinta natake bunda ti bunda me yalon ko itelle sonta kula ye famaji andu ikatama tilingula sayin melni nunto fatata.
They have turned 360 degrees from their activities.
Amunta ibe inyatili nyabe nun daming iyele matale fereng ye kodi wotola le silang.
Now, even an SIS officer will be afraid to tell people they are SIS.
Sayem fango menu be kullo dinkarin doku wala wolondi dinkarin doku bunda ikasila le fang pour que fayita ndi molla ka fonte mo SIS lokulal.
I have seen that.
Ngajele.
So I would like to thank all the staff of the SIS through their Director General.
Betumbe SIS dokulalu benum barala katambindini ngila Director General yala.
For definitely transforming the institution.
Koye doku bunda nyim fali nyamin.
Positioning the service.
Andu ye doku bunda nyim senkal loku.
Away from that, I would like to thank again the TRRC for doing a great job.
TRRC numbara la kota ke puru doku kendo menke.
And pray that may the Almighty Allah guide you in your work.
Mbe ala danila fo ala si alitete kalikanta alla doko kono.
I thank you all for your work.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Hydara. And
Mr. Hydara chairman ko.
Our mandate period is from July 1994 to January 2017.
Ntella sembo doko wuche men ditana wolem kabo July 1994 kana 2017 kang December.
Notwithstanding what is happening at SIS at the moment, I don't think anyone can deny the atrocities that happen in this country by the security services during the mandate period.
Malala otumo masiba jawolu nin tajire yalu menu ka kenung wo kanto nin tankada bundala maje ka foko hanimbi wo kanto ni wo tankada bundalu men be loring nyin temben ka fo bosilo kan
where the 15% was what constituted the bad apples in NIA.
Fo keme o keme sidula tanni lulu wolle keta yiridin toliringuluti membe nung NIA kono bang
or a higher percentage.
Wala atalante mo bang.
It cannot be again denied that atrocities occurred in the agency.
So sorote keno la kafoko tajiri yalu manke ya adoku bundala.
And what would look like a bit of finger pointing that you have done,
membe kala ko bulukondin chodo yemenke,
that soldiers were bringing people to NIA premises and torturing them, and it appears as if NIA was the one doing that, or NIA was being blamed for that.
Kafoko sojarulu kamulu mutaringulu nati kane tajire ya NIA silang ay fintiko NIA wala be ku fasongulu be ke kang.
The police would come and do the same thing in NIA premises.
Police olu fanal sina yo ku kilim fasong ke NIA la sansango kono.
Security services, parts of security services were involved in these atrocities.
Adon kantonin tankada bunda dol suronda menu fanal bulo be nyin tajire ya kono.
Just want to point that out, but to thank you again for your testimony. Council, we take a 30-minute break and come back with the next witness. Is the next witness ready?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the next witness is ready. It would be a very short witness, I imagine, so we can start 1:30 and hopefully end it by 2 or 2:15. And that would be it for the day.
Oh, really?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Not going until midnight.
Be careful, Mr. Chair. They may just take you up on your...
I learned my lesson from discussions before we got here. But again, yes, thank you very much. We would come back at 1:30. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, witness.